Clips.
And remember, citizens, always subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. And $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of hell. Alrighty, boob tubes, another one of Clips. I thought I'd stop there, citizens, obviously not. Anywho's, welcome to the Crossman and Kipcast. This week, Crossman's and also I hope let's get a better offer and more power to him, man. I wish I was in his shoes and had a better offer on a Saturday night, but unfortunately I don't. And I'm a big bit skin toe. So, anywho, I thought I'd put this on, thinking, hoping, maybe he's just getting delayed. Oh, you fucker! Bournemouth just scored a second goal. Fuck you, Bournemouth. Bastards. Anyway, get on to that. Oilers Crossman saying game 20 minutes. I knew you'd be running late. So anywho, we'll give Crossman 20 minutes, then we'll hook everything up on Skype. Do a bit of jibber jabber, and then anybody and everybody that wants to join can. Now, here's the small print. Try and have headphones. Can't hear you, there's no point. And don't phone me on Skype, message me, because when Crossman comes in, we'll be on a Skype call, and if you phone in, it's second line, and you're only allowed one line. Comprende? So, message me on Skype, I will get the message, and then I can add you to the call. Simple enough. And that's about it. And if you want to stick your tuppence worth in, you're more than welcome. That'll be, man. Blue sky on the right and grey sky right in front of me. Anyway, so it's been an interesting day, hasn't it? And Bournemouth just fucking up my coupon. Get a wee 50 pence on 23.5 to 1. Aka. Everything's came in. As you can see, look at that, looking good. Porto, Palmeiras and Boca Juniors with the vaginas later on. I think everything's working, I think. And Man U were my outside thing for a wee bit of value. Under 3 to 1, but they equalised, and now Bournemouth has went 2-1 up, so fucking come on, the Man U. But interesting day. Iran seizes a vessel that's owned by an Israeli billionaire, one of the richest men in Israel. The talking heads on TVs have been saying. The Sydney attacks. Did you see how quick people were out the traps to using their confirmation bias bullshit? Is Tommy Robinson going to not even say sorry, but just admit, oh, here I was an absolute fucking muppet for filling in the blanks when all you do is need to give yourself some time. Now, no doubt, people with confirmation bias out there will go like that. Oh, but the police are lying because they're all fucking Mohammeds behind the curtain. And make some retarded, some kind of excuse as to why the police would lie about something like this. Is to think the authorities wouldn't have like a dog in the fight to blame it on a fucking Mohammed. It just so happens this was a screwball, and if he's well known to the police, no doubt in time, his rap sheet will start to come out. No doubt, his rap sheet will start to come out. So maybe he's just an absolute hoodlum, maybe had a mental breakdown. Who knows? It's endless speculation. But I'll tell you what they aren't, and I'll tell you what the police spokeshole did say. Well known to the police, and at this point, they have no reason to suspect ideological reasons. Right? I.e., he's not an Allah Akbar nut bar, he's not a fucking onward Christian soldier, he's just a nut bar. They do exist. Remember berries? Before the world was polarised, and you go, is that a cunt? Nah, no, it's not a cunt, no, it's a lefty, woke, leftist, Islamist. Some sort of a fucking meme or label slapped on. Alright, look, lying, terror attack 100%, just ask the victims and mate, here we go, this is about, like, I'm glad you said that, buddy. I've noticed that myself, I'm going to actually bring that up. They're changing the language and what a terrorist is. Right? I don't know about you, me and my fucking innocent simpleton ways. A terrorist had to very much had a political ideology they were pushing, a religious ideology, or was a member of a coordinated group who's had goals X, Y, and Z. They were some of the criteria. Not some cunt who just went and just fucking brought out a blade and started stabbing cunts. I think there's only, what is there, 7 dead? I think that includes the fucking knife dude. All of them were women, apart from one male, so was that the knife guy? Hold on, I need to get the details, because I heard them, it was all women apart from one man. But I don't know if they were just talking about the victims as opposed to the knife-wielding maniac. And when I seen the pictures, I seen the green and gold, and I thought some sort of Australian top, and he looked like he had looked like football or some sort of a sport shit on. I don't see many Allah Akbar nut bars fucking rocking like that. This guy looked like he had a manicured beard. You know, Allah Akbars are fucking Gandalf looking motherfuckers, aren't they? They get their beard going. So, but there's a poll there, man, and who am I to fucking say yay or nay? But I'm going on what the police spokeshole said, and using my own discernment to say, right, why would they lie about this kind of shit? And then you're going to go down the whole, you'll get people going down the old Sandy Hook Road and everything now. Guarantee it. You'll get the videos out there, whether it's just people trying to tickle balls for hits and clicks. But I don't think you'll get shit like that monetised, i.e. all the talking heads on the YouTubes, if there is any left, will stay away from it. Because you can't get that shit monetised. All women, what's that about women hater? Well, that's what I'm saying, mate. Was it some sort of a, was it a misogynistic attack? Did the guy just get dumped with his missus and spazzed out and just started wanting to fucking stab vaginas? And not in a good way. You don't know yet, mate. It'll come out. If the police are saying, we know who he is, but they have to wait for the legal identification because they're the cops, but they're sitting there going like that on national TV that's going out worldwide. They know this. We know who he is, right? He's known to police. So is he a local psychopath? Is he? So maybe the conspiracy that will actually people should maybe Tommy Robinson's army should have ran away in the beginning was just like the police not doing their job properly. If he was known to fucking police, fuck, Porto went 1-0 down, bastard. Come on, the Porto. If he was well known to the police, well, exactly, these are the questions that will come out because the police will be under heavy scrutiny. This is worldwide, motherfucker. And, oh, look, you can see the cooler. It's like something out of... So that ship's going at about 50 knots or something. Let's dive into this a wee bit, eh?
into the mix. But this is probably not what the Iranians fully intend, because this doesn't really hurt Israel. This hurts or affects the world market. It threatens to increase costs for everybody, and it's a message to America and the other allies of Israel.
And as this tit-for-tat continues, again, Israel has promised a response.
Yeah, they have, and it's hard to believe that the Iranians won't try something more directly against Israel itself, something militarily, whether through their proxies or directly against some sort of Israeli targets. And Netanyahu has vowed that if you hit Israel directly, we will hit you directly. And that makes this a pretty dangerous moment. And we'll see what the Iranians decide to do, but this is not...
My daddy's bigger than your daddy. If you hit me, I'm going to get my daddy down here to get your daddy. Fuck me. And they're doing that with, like, fucking weapons of war, man. Great stuff. What could possibly go wrong? And remember, folks, there it is up there. Do the poll, man. I think it's blatantly obvious. In fact, right, Crossman's going to be in soon, so before that we'll hit the top of the news. Got a wee bit about the Iranian ship thing, and that heating up. So let's go to top of the hour. We'll do the BBC's because that's easiest to work. That's the Orama BBC's shell. Nah, they've just got the best.
And welcome to BBC News.
Oh man,
I'm the Quest of Burak.
It's the praying mantis. I think it's the drunken brain damage I have, right? But I'm not sure. And I know it's just mean, but I'm being serious. Our eyes are so far apart, she looks like a praying mantis. Mantis. I don't know what I'm talking about. David Attenborough.
Going to start with that deadly attack at the Sydney Mall, where at least 6 people have been killed after a 40-year-old man armed with a knife went on the rampage. Several people, including a 9-month-old baby, are critically injured and in hospital. It happened just a few minutes' drive from Bondi Beach. Panicked shoppers inside the Westfield Centre fled the attacker's path before he was eventually shot dead by police. Officers said he was known to the authorities and the attack was likely not a terrorism
Please have
incident.
this warning.
Katie Watson reports now from the scene.
Beautiful.
Fear and panic in Bondi. Chaos in one of Sydney's busiest shopping centres. Police were called after reports of multiple stabbings, and this is the scene they were met with. The attacker entered the shopping centre just after 3 in the afternoon.
Fucking UFO confirmed.
Outside, shoppers ran for their lives out of the mall. There was relief and terror.
Well, no doubt they were terrorised, mate, but would you call all the mass shootings in America terrorism? I would say no. Maybe you can call them domestic terrorism, then that will screw away Alex Jones fans as nuts.
And my husband dragged us into the Adair's shop.
Right. It's just fear porn, innit? It's just fear porn. I'm no holding this away for you. If you want to go and expose yourself to this Clockwork Orange fucking style, I've done the rounds on this already. And you know what? There's much of a muchness. There's no difference between all the major outlets. The only difference, surprisingly, is on Al Jazeera, where they do not mention the suggestion of terrorism. They show the interviews where the press are asking about this, and the woman explains it's not for ideological reasons, easy for me to say, and it's not terrorism. They know him, and he's well known to police, and that's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
An affluent area, a short distance from Bondi Beach. This is an incident that shocked the nation. Little used to violent attacks like this.
Today, Bondi Junction was the scene of shocking violence, but it was also witness to the humanity and the heroism of our fellow Australians. Our brave police, our first responders, and of course everyday people who could never have imagined that they would face such a moment. And some of the footage is quite extraordinary.
Yeah, it's beautiful,
Amid
man.
the panic, there was indeed huge
Oh,
bravery.
there's the
This
hero.
man attempting to ward off the attacker, holding
Why
a
don't they
bollard.
show him launching
Australians
it,
will be
man? You
waking
could
up on
launch it
Sunday
right down there,
wanting
like, boom!
answers.
Knock him the fuck out.
Well, the acting
And
Premier
then when you
of New
knock
South
him the
Wales
fuck out, you
has
bum
briefed the
rush
media
him.
and said that she
You get him on the
convened
deck.
a crisis
Firstly,
cabinet
you
with other
like take the
ministers.
biggest junk
Penny
you can and
Sharp added that
Zuno
the
his
Premier,
fucking
Chris Minns,
forearm with
joined
a
the
knife in
call
it.
remotely.
Hopefully
He'd been on a visit
snapping
to
his
Japan
fucking arm.
and hadn't left Tokyo Airport since the news of the
He's
incident
not going to be doing
hours
much
earlier.
then.
This is
And
some
then
of
you
what
take the
was
knife
said.
and hopefully have the
There are
self-control
really more
not to
difficult
stab the
days
fuck up.
ahead. Tonight we hold in our hearts the
She's getting
families and
funny.
the
She's been
friends
watching
and
too
those
much
who have
Vikings
lost
on
loved
Netflix,
ones.
didn't she? Check
We
her hair
stand
out,
with those who are waiting
Right.
to hear.
I'm sorry, I'm sick of hearing the same shit at every fucking doom and gloom event that the world has to offer us right now. Same talking heads, the same pandering to the blah 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 blah. It's like white noise. Do you know what I mean? It's like where's the real people who talk like real motherfuckers and know these PR trained fucking pieces of clay moulded into fucking. Right, let's get back to the praying mantis.
Royalty and others
Mantis.
sharing their messages of condolence and support for the people of Sydney. There was a statement from King Charles which said that
Oh, yes, we need to know what the king thinks. Fuck you, BBC, right. Let's see what they're saying.
This is not the end of it, I'm sure. They
on,
may
we need
be
21
setting
minutes.
up the ship seizure as part of the end of it, but I'm sure they want to actually embarrass this man further, Netanyahu, before this element of the
Nutjob is
crisis
fucked.
has seen its way through.
How long's he been in power now?
Of course, this all comes in the context of warnings from President Biden that he does expect an Iranian attack on Israel sooner.
Warnings for Biden? Do you mean... yeah, back in the old days I used to have eyes. He looks like he's fucking stoned out his butt. And a famous old Glasgow saying, he looks chinkied out his nut. And that's nothing to do with this. To do with Biden's cowboy eyes. Anyway, so right, let's go from death and destruction in Australia to wee sprinkler.
Rather than later.
World
We've
War
also
III,
seen
Iraq,
America's rhetoric,
Iraq.
like the UK's
Well, even
before,
slip,
hardening
Iran
towards
and
Israel amid the ongoing conflicts. It's an interesting line the United States is treading there.
It is, and you know, I keep saying President Biden needs all this like a hole in the head. And although the Americans say
he
we
needs
are
to relieve
foursquare
some
behind
pressure
Israel,
on
they
his-
have to say
look
that,
at
and they
him.
are. But they're
I feel sorry because he's
very
getting
angry
fucking arthritis,
with
man.
Netanyahu, giving them yet another
Look,
problem.
he's
the
just-
attack
he's
on
not
the
spring chicken, he's just
consulate in
can't-
Damascus
Oh!
on the 1st of
Oh, hold on, that's
1st of
dodgy.
April,
Did he make...
just, what, 13 days ago now, has created this
Oh,
new
you have
twist
to
to the
stop
crisis.
for some
And
air.
America's got nothing to gain out of this. All it's got is this standoff with Israel, with Iran, which may get worse. And so, you know, the United States is yet
I was
again
fucking watching the
pushed
delay.
into a difficult balancing act. And President Biden, you know, in an election year, you really don't want to have to deal with this sort of things if you don't have to.
Well, here, 5 people have been arrested after the remains of a baby have been found in Wigan. Sky's Fraser Maud is in Wigan tonight with more details.
Yeah, brilliant. It sounds beautiful. I'm going to hold my waist until I know what happens, but how many Tommy cards out there do you think are there like, but she was the fucking immigrants? Anyway, I digress. Let me see, is that Crossman hitting me up? Yeah. Aye, and Tuesday night, was meant to do something with Gordon, man, but I just came back from the gym, had something to eat, and just wanted to crawl into my bed, man. Last night I was in my bed for 9:30. Oh, life. But I'm getting up early as a motherfucker, man. See, before I started doing this, I was like, I need to do something new, otherwise I'm going to just fall asleep. But let's get a wee update about the Fitbot. Still the first half. 9 minutes added on time. What the fuck is happening to football, man? Porto goal, good stuff. That's equalised. So, oh shit. Wasn't me. Right, so let's catch up with the BBCs.
Accused Iran of an act of piracy, and the military spokesman Daniel Hagari here in Israel has said that Iran will bear the consequences for this escalation. What I think is really interesting about this is that this is a relatively unusual event to happen.
Let me get this right, Poindexter, right? So, Israel rattling the fuck out of Hamas is self-defence. Iran is done by no killing anybody, by stealing a ship. In response to their sovereign soil, whatever you want to call it, basically an attack on Iran, technically speaking, inside Syria, the Syrian consulate. Killing, I think it was 7. Scores on the door, 7 generals or something. Yeah. So Iran doesn't have the right to defend themselves, but Israel does. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It's just the blatant hypocrisies and double standards. It's becoming harder because of the advent of the internet and the ability for people to go and get different, get propaganda from different sources, basically. They're no longer the Western-dominated press with the BBCs and the American networks. They're no longer can control the narrative like they used to. So people are aware of other things that wouldn't get the time of day back in the day, and people wouldn't get access to Russian, Iranian, Chinese, etc., media. They would all be in their own wee closed-off bubbles created by the media, the nation's media. That's no longer the case. It's a different playing field now. Anyway, let's have a wee listen.
Think about it. Most of the stories we've done recently, over recent months, about ship seizures have been on the other side of the Arabian Peninsula in the Red Sea, and those have been largely carried out by Iranian allies, the Houthis.
See if they manage to fucking dominate
Iranian forces to
Persian Gulf as well as the Red Sea.
And that is why some
It's gonna
analysts
fuck up the
believe
West
it could be the
majorly.
start of an incremental response to the attack on Iran's consulate
Punk,
in Damascus, the Syrian capital, at the beginning of the month, that killed a number of Iranian generals.
Well, stay with me, James, because there is another development within the region, because Israel's defense minister is warning against revenge attacks after a missing Israeli teenager was found dead in the occupation.
That sounds good. And Punk, what you're saying there, it's like, and people are blind to that, it's confirmation bias, they'll just ignore that, and because nobody has confidence in sweet Fanny Adams anymore, they can excuse that away by the press lying to you. When things, look at the amount of 100 people that were there. So this guy was a terrorist, but wasn't he a terrorist? Have you heard anybody of those hundreds of people saying that they heard Allah Akbar? Didgies, not a sausage. What you've heard is the police coming out and say, we know who he is, there's lots of footage of him, so this cunt ain't going to go under the radar. The radar. People are going to know who this guy is. If he's well known to the cops, I'm pretty sure that's a matter of public record, especially if he's been through the courts and all that before. So this cunt in the press, TV, press, YouTube, yeah, give me more, baby. They're going to have a record of all this guy's crimes, and then you're going to see what a crazy maybe he's been done for an assault, attempted murder. Who knows? As Punk said, that the possibilities are endless. It's like the never-ending fucking story. That's why we have... That's... Do you know what? I'm not going to call it BBC News anymore. I'm going to call it BBC The Never-Ending Fucking Story. In the evening, Roberto. Looking Lion, I bet it was a game grant. Lost me, but Roberto. Foreign muck language. I can't read English at the best of times. His name is Benjamin Cohen, the actor. Fuck off. The guy, the knife wielding guy, is an actor. I'm pretty sure I said it. Everybody's going to go Sandy Hook on. It'll be fucking mentally insane, the certifiable mentally insane out there that will go Sandy Hook on this ass, on this shite. Look at her. Her eyelashes on the, like, you can tell her eyelashes are falling off. That means she's an actor. Oh my lordy lord. It's already going that way. But hey, I'll strap myself in for the ride, man. I don't take this shit seriously. It's a pile of shite. It is what it is, man. To me, by best accounts, it's a madman fucking stabbing cunts up in a fucking mall. Although I would call it a shopping centre. Call me old fashioned or fucking the Glasgow region. And hopefully Gordon will be back soon and we'll do that Glasgow chat. Glasgow cast. Glasgow and Friends cast. We'll do an open Skype again and see if anybody wants to join. Although I'm thinking, we just need to nail down a night and it needs to be earlier. Otherwise, if I fucking... I hate a class. See when I have my dinner, man, I need matchsticks to keep me awake right now. And it's not a bad habit, it's good habits that I'm fucking reinstalling, man. So, let me see what I bet. Anyway, it's a question of credibility to lie. They no longer have the ability. His name is Cohen, alright, Roberto? Sounds like a self-hater. The press can lie long enough till we lose interest because we've all moved on till next week's atrocity. Our attention span. That name is correct. You just said, bro, are you drunk? I said attacker, not actor. Oh shit. Well, a wee teeny bit drunk and and a big bit dyslexic. So put them together. What have you got? Who's got two thumbs and can't read properly? I like that one. Izzy. So the guy is called that Benjamin Cohen. So is the insinuation he's Jewish then, just with the name? It's a Jewish name, isn't it? Cohen. It's one of the largest, most popular surnames, I do believe. I know that before anybody let the dust settle and was out there spewing hundreds of piss on the interwebs, it's this, it's that. There was even people out there like, oh, it's in the Jewish area! Like, what the fuck, is there like some sort of a Jewish ghetto in fucking Australia? Oh, it's in an affluent area! What, you saying Jews are money grabbers, fuck's sake? It's hilarious, man. You know, they can't keep their story straight because the fucking story ain't straight because they're just fucking going along with what's on the social medias. So, Chug in the evening, Roberto, Izzy, Looting Lion, and the ramblings of a madman, Irish madman. So, I'm hoping Crossman will be joining us shortly. We can talk a wee bit of shit about this. And then anybody and everybody that wants to join can join the conversation. There's a poll up above. And see if you don't believe what that is coming out from numerous news sources. Al Jazeera, which has now recently been banned in Israel, is reporting the stuff the police said. Has the internet allowed people to lose so much faith and these talking heads, but not these talking heads, that they'll no longer believe anything? And not only that, if they get presented with something which doesn't fit their world narrative, the way they see it, the way they want it to be, i.e. this guy's a terrorist, an Allah Akbar Nutbar, I just looked at him and I thought, looks like a regular Australian. He looked like he had the short kind of fucking sport shorts on. He looked like, you know, in Australia, I don't know if it is it a heavy, is it all the Greeks? I think there's a heavy Greek population. I think, pretty sure. There's a big Greek population in Australia and you get them with the olive skin. And that's what I thought he looked like. And his beard was well kept. And it looked like it was well kept. And he didn't look like an Allah Akbar Nutbar window licker. And it's not their MO, typically. They stab people, would be chopping off heads or blowing people up. So, I know where my money's at, right? And I think it's quite funny how people were very easily to bolt quickly. There's a saying in there that I can't quite remember. When you bolt first, royal redemption. Harry and Meghan. Albie asks. Oh, it's on GB News. Like, so if you hate Prince Harry, Angela, no Merkel, her as well. If you hate Prince Harry, Angela Rayner, and Gary Lineker, you watch too much GB News. You're a fan of Nigel. I've never met these people, and just because of their influential in their politics, the dominant messaging on the interweb social medias, people are turning against. How dare that footballer with big ears that fucking get paid shed loads off a crisp company fucking have a political point of view. Freedom! It's fucking crazy, man. I even heard, what was it? Oh, cyclists? They were talking about cyclists. They were talking about cyclists, and she went, hey, I hate these cyclists, I hate these cyclists, I hate these cyclists. And then she said, now I know it's like, fucking hell, man, we authoritarian fucking Hitler fucks masquerading like the People's Channel. Nigel Vag, he's a fucking man of the people. So, Jug, it's all doom, that is for sure. Fuck that, bro, you end up needing my self-help playlist. The Greeks have a saying, you'll never find your energy again. Guess when you... Again. Put in the gyros. That's food and it's making me fucking hungry. I've been constantly hungry. What the fuck is going on? I'm getting attacked by the deep state Illuminati. I'm getting attacked by the Illuminati. It is official. And remember, folks, if you do enjoy these wee shindigs, which they'll be here most Saturdays, unless we do get a better offer, which, let's be honest, you're kind of hoping to get a better offer. And sitting talking about all this pish all night. But I'm a big bit skint. Right. So, as you can clearly see, the Deep State Illuminati is attacking me. It's obviously not just a technical issue, I have no idea what's going on. Let's see, it should be working. Right. Boom shakalaka, back in the room. Should be anyway. And as that just happened, my crossman phoned me, as Sod's Law would have it. So, let me just... Aye, that's it, all sorted now. It's the world in which we live, man. You need to put up with these Illuminati attacks. And you know how you defeat the Illuminati? You reboot, turn it off, turn it on again. Anyway, it's enough fighting the Illuminati for one night. So let me find Crossman on the old Skypes. That seems to be working. Oh, hello buddy, how you doing?
Right, hold on, let me just have a fiddle.
Right, I'm going to turn my camera off here. Turn it on. And
Right, I've got you, buddy. Right.
Right, there we go, sorted.
Now I've got a visual on you.
Right, just need to put it onto full screen. Fuck, did I do that again? That isn't it. No, that isn't it. How did I get rid of that? Oh, fuck. 2 seconds, buddy. I hope I've not hung up. Right.
No, I've got you.
Right, good stuff. Man's fucking Skype's a pain in the fucking shitter. Right, bud, I'm going to phone you back in literally 2 seconds, right, bud?
Yeah, no.
What a fucking pain in the... I just don't know how to work fucking Skype anymore, man. And I've done something there that I didn't want to do. There we go. Now I can do that. Sorted. There we go, man. Everybody's in the house. So how you doing, bud?
I'm alright, are you alright?
Aye, mate.
I just got a bit late. I just got a bit tied up then, so I do apologise for being late.
That's alright, bud, man.
Yeah, I didn't. I just checked and you were already up and rolling, so I thought, well, that's alright then, innit? I'll just come in a bit late.
Well, I was thinking that, buddy, and the reason I wanted to start is because like I was last night. I was in my bed for like fucking 9:30, man. So
you've had a good night's kit.
Well, know that I've got into a healthy habit of fucking going to my bed early and getting up early, you know. So at night time, I'm just wanting to fucking roll into my bed, man. Nowadays. Yeah. So how you been doing, my man? All right?
I'm not bad at all, yeah. I'm living and breathing.
Good stuff.
I've not been tuned into your topic, so I don't know what you've been talking about.
Oh, well, have you seen what happened in Australia today?
No, go on, just give me a quick update.
There was 7 dead, 7 in hospital, one of them in hospitals. I think it's a 9-month-old baby whose ma's now dead. It was a mad guy in a shopping centre, as we would call it, or a shopping mall in Australia, running about with a knife, and then he gets shot with
I was just going to say, with a knife, I'm going to ask you another quick question. Wasn't one of our Muslim brothers, was it?
Well, mate, that's where everybody's head went to, and as it transpires, the cops are saying that it's not the guy didn't do it for any ideological reasons. He's well known to the police, and before they had, they have the official autopsy and the IDing of the body and shit. So it's not officially been ID'd, but the cops know who it is, and they've came out and said that he was well known to the cops. He was acting alone, and it's not terrorism. So he must have just been a local lunatic. That's what I'm thinking, a local lunatic.
Well, I've got an opinion on this as well, and I know you're going to agree with me. But a lot of it is monkey see, monkey do, isn't it?
It's the programming of the TV, mate, I get you.
Like they claim, don't they, that... well, what was that? I've just lost it then. Well, yeah, I mean, it's programming, isn't it, in a way,
I know what you mean, mate. Monkey see, monkey do. A good example is mass shootings. See if it wasn't for the TV regurgitating that, putting that idea, that thought, that narrative into young people's heads, there wouldn't be so many, if any at all, I would argue. Because you've got to be some particular brand of psychopath to just come up with that idea on your own.
Well, the recent one that's just happened in West Yorkshire, she was an African immigrant. I'm not sure. I think she was probably illegal, and she'd attacked some young kid, hadn't she? And I think they've given her 20 years. But it wasn't for Islam. It was just, you get what I mean when I'm saying that?
It was just a crackpot.
Yeah, and that goes into the ether, doesn't it? People catch it on the internet, they watch it on the news. And if you give information to enough idiots, as we've learnt with David Icke and Alex Jones, look at the repeat custom you get.
They keep coming back for more. Mate,
how many chemies do you get? And you know what I mean? Like, not to be disrespectful to chemtrailers, but
no, but exactly, mate. And it's like when this first happened, right? No, there was pictures doing the rounds on the tweeters and all that, and the guy looked like a normal olive-skinned Australian dude. He even was sporting what could be a rugby top or an Australian football top or some shit, right? Because you had it was the green and the gold. So it's not what you would think or imagine your average Allah Akbar looking like. His beard was kind of groomed and short and all that kind of shit. So he obviously wasn't like religiously fanatic, because if you're religiously fanatic, you've always got that crazy beard. But Tommy Robinson was all over the Twitter like, this isn't a terrible instinct, it's jihad and all that, right? So he's fucking shot the crow, he's fucking went too early. He's fucking...
But it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter, because a lot of people will receive that information and that's all they'll stick with, isn't it?
Mate, exactly that. I mean, look at the poll, right? I don't know if you can see the poll, right? I put a poll up. No, it is actually quite 50-50 in the sense that 50% think it was a terrorist incident.
Well,
and
there you go then.
Mate, and like, who am I to say if it's right or wrong? But I'm just saying, like, the police say he's well known. There's hundreds of pictures from different sources of this guy. If he's well known, there's going to be public record of this cunt and newspapers. It's all going to come out. In fact, somebody earlier on in the chat, and thanks for that, man, put in the name of the dude. And you know what? Aye, it's in the chat if anybody wants to go and check it out. Oh, by the way, the guy's name apparently that was in the chat, so take it with whatever pinch of salt you want, was Cohen. Something.
Right. They do.
Mate,
I think 90% of them are.
Well, Well, that's a good point, man. But that's commerce at the end of the day, innit? But
Yeah.
they were talking about how it was in an affluent area, because where was it? Bondi. So Bondi Beach. It kind of
Bondi Beach. Yeah.
It sounds like a kind of like you get that
They
home and
all-
away vibe.
Yeah, well, they go there for New Year, don't they? Everyone, if you go over there, like it's New Year. I had a mate who went one New Year's Eve. But this is the danger. Also, we have to remember this: a lot of the terrorists of the future are just going to be idiots that have learnt it watching YouTube, aren't they?
I think we've already witnessed that to a certain extent with all
absolutely.
with the mass shootings in America. And that's exactly what you said, mate. Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. Well, they do predict this. Like, the danger will be like converts that have never been in a mosque and they're just watching crap on YouTube, and then they go and lose it. Like, and they could be like fully English. Like, I've got a mate. He has a phone shop, and he's converted to. He goes to the mosque and everything, but he has the beard. But he's a full-on white guy. He's actually of German. He's got a bit of a German accent. And I'm not saying he's a danger, because I don't think he is. But potentially, he's in it up to his neck. The Muslim belief system. Like, you get what I mean? I call them white rats, man.
Well, do you know what it is? It's do you know what? I would blame Christianity for being so stupid and not with the times to like repelling people away so much that they end up taking on a brown man's religion. Me personally, I've seen it through all.
Christianity is a brown man's religion, isn't
it? No, mate, I've seen Jesus on the cross. He was a white guy with fucking auburny curly hair, man. I've seen pictures.
We're all running around after some Middle Eastern fucking religion, aren't we? Instead of sticking to our pagan roots.
Mate, pagan roots are better than fucking disorganised. But what's the difference, mate? What's the difference between modern religions and all the pagan shit, just for starters, right? All the stuff that came before it.
There's a lot less. There's a lot less than you think,
Well, I would point out the fact that they've put one singer, one song, i.e. that all the modern day religions are monotheism.
Yeah,
it's all one singer, one song.
Is it polytheistic?
I think so. I'm going to go with
many gods, but there's still an hierarchy in that system. So you still have a top poncho, and they replaced paganism with Christianity, and you still have an hierarchy. You still have God, then you have the archangels, then you have the saints. Then you get what I'm saying when I'm saying it. You have a demigod.
Well,
then I suppose you have the 12 disciples, don't you? You get what I mean? Like, so there is because. But I think it was Thor, the thunder god, was the head god, wasn't he, of pagan? And if you go to Greek mythology, it was Zeus, wasn't it? The head god.
I was going to big up Greek mythology because, like, I pick and mix, as I've said before, man. And Greek mythology is brilliant in the sense, like, you did have King Dong Zeus, which is very similar to Jesus, but we won't go there. And all his sort of things. But what I liked about the Greeks is they had the demigods. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Jesus was a demigod, wasn't he?
Well, if he was the son of God, it's
the same principle. My dad was God. I'm human, but my dad was God, and I've got special abilities.
That's one thing I've never, ever heard anybody even touch upon going to, and I've listened to a lot of religious mumble jumble. Where was Jesus born? If he was born, I don't believe at him as he appears in the Bible, but if people try to explain, was he a virgin birth? Did he have a father, a real father? Was he the son?
Well, I think there's many ways of cutting this, and we have to remember all biblical text is gobbledygook because it's lost in translation over thousands of years by different scribes, words evolving, changing, meanings changing. But there is one way you can view a virgin birth, and because a church, you get an old harlot, right? an old harlot, and that's an old church, and we're going to stick Catholicism in there, yeah? Rome. That's the harlot, rides the beast, the harlot. Right? But then when you get virgin, that means a new church, a new way. And when you get turning water into wine, that's also a new way. And when you got David cutting Goliath's head off, that was also cutting the information off from the body of the people, meaning a new way. And each way is actually heading towards where we don't actually do animal sacrifices, and prior to that, human sacrifice. So you had the old sacrifices to like Moses and blah blah. Kill your own kid, like, oh, we're only joking, doesn't really matter. Like, but then they went, right, well, now we'll sacrifice animals, which the Jews still do. But in Christianity, we don't sacrifice animals now. Because Jesus died for our sins. So he's a new church because he's a new way and he's a virgin, meaning it's a new setup, a new church that doesn't have human or animal sacrifice in it. See, so you can look at it like that. It might not have been meant to say it literally, in other words. It actually means a new way. So that's why they put him as a virgin. It's just, I've not invented that, by the way. Like, it's, you can dig it out. You can dig it out.
I'm very much in the page that none of the Bible should be taken literally. It should all be saying as wise tales that have been passed down.
It says it in the Bible. Don't take this book literally. You can find it.
No, I believe you, man.
It's 66 books, isn't it? Of different eras, and it's based. What it really was a historical document of the early Jews, and what they did was they changed the name of the Lord to Yahweh, but really what it meant was the Lord of the city,
Jerusalem.
So. Yeah, the Lord of the city at them times. So you can actually go from that angle. And the guy that's come up with that, I forgot his name, but he's actually a biblical grammarist. So he said it never meant God. They've twisted it into that. It was actually more about boots on the ground, normal stuff. The same as the earliest Christian Bible that resides in Greece is very similar to our modern day Bible. It's New Testament Jesus. But in that, Jesus isn't a demigod. He's just like an intelligent person. We wrote in all the fancy stuff after. No doubt by Rome, and have you heard of Josephus? Have you heard of Josephus?
Sorry, mate, I was getting distracted there. No, I have not.
Well, they reckon that he might have been behind the writings of the New Testament. So it could be massive plagiarised.
So what was his name? What was his name, Joe?
Josephus.
So what neck of the wood was he?
It's also got the initials JC.
Oh.
So it's all very strange. But again, like I said, no one knows anything. All you can accept is you want to accept anything with the Bible. If you want to believe it's here by God, no matter what. So it doesn't matter how it's got in its modern day form, right? Or you've got to accept that it's just a construct of stories.
Well, this is the way I see the Bible, man. It's wise tales that have been used and constructed, and as you're saying as well, man, manoeuvred, manipulated, and structured in such a way that people can read into it what they want, and people in power can hold on.
I'll give you a really good example. What got me? It was that I think it was Plato, an ancient Greek philosopher, said, "Know thyself." And thousands of years later, there's a man called Jesus Christ says, "Know thyself." So where did Jesus get that word, know thyself, from? It has to be from Plato. So really, the Bible is a book of philosophy. And there were ancient philosophers way before the Bible. And they're the ones that have affected the Bible. in thousands of years later if you like. So why is Jesus quoting Plato? That's my question.
Well, if the entity of Jesus existed as a lot of people understand it, he was obviously a very wise man, and the people no say that there's a bit of his life that disappears. It's hard to account for, apparently, and he fucked off to India.
They put the first 33 years down, so he travelled and spent his time with like the sort of like the high intelligent people. It might have been India and Egypt, because it does claim he was in Egypt for a spell. So like he was going around. He might have even been to Ireland, you see, and sat with the Druids. And get what I mean, like.
Here, all our American viewers, man. Here, I've got a hotel I can hook you up with Ireland. Jesus stayed there, man. It's only $20 million a night.
There actually is a church in England, and the way it's set up, it's like all Roman style, and they reckon Jesus went and stayed there. There's a song, isn't there, when Jesus walks on English pleasant land? A hymn.
Is that no Jerusalem?
No. There's one where they're saying that he comes to England. So it's just. But does it matter? I'm just because everything's come after. Look, people have been rewriting the Bible's been rewritten thousands and thousands of times for thousands and thousands of years. And if you was a scribe and you was writing and you saw a bit and you thought, I think it'd sound better if I just changed it to that. That's been happening.
You'll be aware of this, right? So the whole myth, legend, story, etc. about Jesus came when he was setting up his own shop away from the state, which was predominantly Roman at the time. So he was fighting against the Romans. Now, the Romans had to capitulate at some point and adopt this because it was that religion, because it was getting so popular. Now,
it took off.
My kind of argument is, see, like all the aristocracy, if you want to call it, of the Roman Empire, they just throw away all their gods, traditions, or anything like that. They might turn up at church on a Sunday and go, blah, 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 and to the cross, but that's just to appease the people. So that's why...
They adopted it. They adopted it under pressure, and they thought, it's a good way to stay in control. And if you ever get to the point where Jesus says, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. What Jesus was saying was, pay your taxes. So he wasn't fighting them that hard, was he?
Alright, well, it's definitely something to consider. Like, they think that the fact that Christianity's first mega opponent, the Roman Empire, adopted that religion, and then one of their symbols was the main man dead on a cross. And let's not forget, mate. Let's not forget. I don't know if people are aware of like what a cross represented back in the day. This wasn't like the gallows or something. It wasn't a public hanging. It was, but what I mean in the sense that these were typically laying along like paths, and like when people were arriving at cities and places, all the crosses and all that would be there as a kind of warning, kind of like chopping off heads and leaving them as a wee sort of a threat.
They've never ever found anywhere in that area an actual cross, buried deep in the ground. I know they rot away, but you still get fossilized crosses and stuff.
Aye.
But they've never found one. Because you know what they really used, apparently? A Jehovah's Witness told me this. They used stakes. So they put a big stake in and dangle you on a stake. So the cross is more, it's more for, I don't know, like, it could be bollocks. It could be bollocks, basically. But they did put Julius Caesar on a cross after he died, right, on show. It span around, and he was like on a cross spinning around, right? And they made him a god. And before he died, he was a demigod with the same initials, JC.
Well, to my understanding, the point a cross which came in different forms. That's why the Scottish flag has the St.
Look, the cross is Celtic, isn't it, Kip? As well, it's an older symbol than
Well, but the cross itself, especially the St Andrews one, that was like, again, it's a symbol, like a torture implement, man. That's you used to, it's just a different cross, but the idea of nailing somebody to a cross, it wasn't to kill them easy, it wasn't to kill them slowly. It was like showing off to everybody. This is what happens.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely true. Damien King Henry VIII used to do it with heads on spikes, didn't he? But
I think Cromwell done it as well. I think Cromwell done it.
If you have an accurate cross, it's an X, isn't it? It's also it's also a swastika, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose you could morph it into that.
You get what I mean? Like, so and the cross again, it's Celtic. There's runes in Ireland, isn't there, with the cross on, and they well predate Christianity. And then when you go back to the very early points of Christianity, which Christianity are you on about? Because you had like all the different Gnostic Christianities, didn't you? And it was this one that got out of the traps 300 years after Jesus died at the Council of Nicaea, when they did they chose what books were going to go in and what were going to be rejected. Council of Nicaea, Turkey. What were Turkey? Rome at the time, if you remember. Byzantine and all that crap. You know that, don't you? So to me, it's been a bit jigged from the start, if you get what I mean. It's a good way to control people, isn't it? You want people to go to work, not rip you off, be able to like rule them with rules, which is good for society, and get your taxes if you're at the top, don't you? So Christianity is the perfect jobby.
Well, it's like all religions are the same, mate. It just makes you bow down to the...
Yeah, the Quran's good. I went to a mosque and they fed us. And they did the big waffle. We were there for about 2 hours listening to all this crap. I was dying to put me on and say, what about the Sunnis? You know, the Shias. You know what I mean? Like, why are you killing each other? Like, you know. But I didn't. I bit my lip, like. Because it would have caused a fucking riot. Because they're all there being dead peaceful and nice, talking through their asses.
Mate, I'm pretty sure it's something to do with either Muhammad's brothers or Muhammad's sons, and an argument between the cunts.
One pray 5 times a day and the other pray 3. You can kill each other for that.
Yeah, there's only one way to sort this out, Faye.
But it's a good religion for Mecca, isn't it? Because they get a hell of a lot of donations worldwide from the Muslims, you see.
Right, Crossman, I'm going to. Do you want me to invite Chris in?
Bring in. It's fine.
So let me see how I do this. Oh, Jesus, I've done that again. Right, how do I get rid of that? Right, that's what we'll do. Oh, there we go, sorted it. Now, add participants. So, I don't know what's happened with James, but he's not been on
I hope he's invested.
Nice. I don't know, man. I had to turn my Skype off. I was getting calls for him at fucking 7:30 in the morning and shit, man. Like that. Whoa.
Oh, you don't need that, do you? Jesus Christ.
Hello, boys.
All right, Chris. How you doing?
Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, my mates. How are you?
Oh, good, buddy.
Living the dream.
As usual. Good evening. Hang on, let me turn that down.
Anybody else? The Skype details are below. If anybody wants to try and join, Skype me. Send me a message on Skype, and I will try and add you.
Crossman.
Yes, bro.
I love the way you've sussed out the Bible in the way that you have. Like you said, there's another meaning behind what the words are. That in itself is fucking genius, mate. Yeah, and I can see that.
It's not my own work.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. You get it, and
It's not an original idea.
well, no, it's not that. It's you get it and you understand it, and you're learning from it. That's the fucking key, mate.
What I picked up was off a guy called Armin Ra. And they were in communication with him for many, many, many years. I still am. I still get the odd message off him now. And he'd done the hard work.
Got you.
And explained what his viewpoint on it. And YouTube closed him down years ago because they don't like it when you get near this.
No, they don't, mate. They don't.
They don't want you rocking that status quo.
Yeah, I've seen a few things about that with like hidden messages, like every so many sentences, the first letter of that sentence, if it's in like a capital,
the number 7.
Well, no, it makes up a word and then it makes up a sentence as you go through, and a lot
the number 7 goes through the Bible mathematically. It's impossible. How the number 7 goes through the letters of the Bible, and it's mathematically impossible to do, but it's done, which makes the Bible a bit spooky.
Yeah, there is a lot of spooky aspects about the Bible.
Chris, there's lots of, like, I think you can call it a cipher. There's lots of ciphers for the Bible, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly. That's what.
And I remember falling into that rabbit hole, right? And like, as it's fascinating, right? Absolutely fascinating. And then later down the line, as I was exploring more, the realization that the book that the cipher is coming from is like a modern day version, and that shit is just nowhere near like the real word's context. Because as you all know, whether you can fucking speak or read a different language, the words are round a different way, if you get me. You know, we'll say like the small park, and in other languages it'll be park small. German has got different this for fucking male, female and neutral fucking things.
Yeah.
English is very simplified, and I know the King James done its best to translate that, but even the stuff that King James was translating that from, I would argue, like Crossman said before, these are books that are like fucking Chinese whispers over the years that have just ended up wise tales and ended up in books, you know, like knowledge hidden or not in them, you know.
Yeah, but what even more true is the fact that everything modern, everything we're talking about now, everything you see, everything you do, everywhere you go, has all come out of the Bible. And when I'll give you a very simple reason, because I can go complicated on this, but before I do, in schools, like, you know, when my grandma was in school, she died at 96, 20 years ago. So we're going 110 years ago, yeah? There's only one book in the classroom. One book.
The Bible?
The Bible. That was it. Only one book.
Yeah.
And they learned maths, science, and everything from the Bible. Yeah. So everything, and all philosophies come from the Bible, apart from the early Greek philosophy, because that predates it. So, but even like Hegel, who Marx got his ideas from, although Hegel was Christian, Marx was atheistic, if you like. But even Hegel's philosophy, Nietzsche's philosophy, all the great modern philosophers have basically come from the Bible one way or another.
Well, Crossman, that doesn't surprise me in the sense, like, if you look back how society used to be structured. And I know this for Glasgow, and I'm imagining, in fact, I'm not imagining, I know it to be this case in other places. God knows how widespread it was. I would imagine it's pretty much the norm. The first centres of learning were the churches and the cathedrals. The first ever class of Glasgow University wasn't in Glasgow University as we know it today. It was in Glasgow Cathedral. Because that's where all the learning was, because the learning came from the bishops. And the church did want their flock to be educated to a certain extent, but they also wanted to keep a monopoly on especially the word of God. That's why it was on Latin, and they didn't let the paupers learn Latin.
Yeah, but that's why I've this, you know, the Jesuits that actually brought reading and writing to the masses, by the way.
Well, mate, the Jesuits are relatively new in the history of Christianity.
But they brought sanitation
They've done a lot of good outreach stuff with missionary work, but it was the competition with the Enlightenment. You know, Glasgow was the home of the Enlightenment, and that was when they were dragging No, the Jesuits had to count, because the Jesuits were set up as an army was part of the Counter-Reformation. The church set up a Counter-Reformation. They wanted to fucking put the Proddies back in the box and reclaim their monopolies. Whereas the Proddies were like, it was the age of Glasgow was the centre, especially Scotland and Glasgow, the centre of the age of Enlightenment, man. And that's the explosion of fucking ideas and concepts away from the church, where you wouldn't get called what do you call somebody that doesn't believe in God when you want to hang them?
When about were the Jesuits? When were the Jesuits sort of order? When was this before or after the formation of Christianity?
I'm going to say the 17th century, but I'll ask my brain, right? Let's see what the brain says. When were the Jesuits set up?
Wait now.
The first 2 Jesuits were Jewish converts, by the way. That's how you can connect.
When were the Jesuits set up?
Jews in with Rome.
What?
They might secretly be the Kabbalists.
When were the Jesuits set up?
You not just think all of these things are just, I don't know, the different people's versions of how it was founded in 1540 by Ignatius. People look at these ideas and go think, well, no, I don't believe that, and then they look to another one, and they look to another one, and I think it's the most convincing. People take on board. I don't know.
16th century, mate. I nailed it. 1540.
Yeah.
Because they were set up as soldiers of Christ to counter the Reformation as part of the Reformation. The Counter-Reformation started at the behest of the Pope, and then they set up the Order of the Jesuits, who were
as a military arm.
Military. They still are a military order, mate. Technically speaking,
I'm led to believe that. I've even read like some really weird stuff from the Jesuits, where like they're willing to kill or even like be blamed for things. It's like really hardcore.
Didn't I read or watch somewhere where the Jesuits are the only ones that sort of didn't have an army and didn't sort of?
No, they're a military arm. They're a military religious order. They're like the Knight. A bit like the Knights Templar. I suppose you could say that, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you something that you'll find interesting, Crossman, right? I found this when I was looking at old maps. I can't remember. It was South America. I was looking at old maps. And it must have been for the 16th, 17th century. So, as you can imagine, all the countries are different and whatnot back then. There's still a lot of technically undiscovered, unclaimed land in South America. And then I spot this one, it's still a country to this day. In fact, I'll stick on my map and I'll find it. And it was called the Jesuit Missionary State. So the Jesuits had actually set up shop and got their own wee country together and stuff. And it was only relatively speaking in history, maybe like 150 years ago, that it morphed from a Jesuit state into Paraguay. It's right around Paraguay. Because is it Paraguay? Paraguay, because that's the wee small country kind of stuck between Bolivia and Brazil and all that. Right, I'll even try and get a map up it and show you, because I'm pretty sure we can share screens.
But I've always had the Jesuits as, even though the Jesuits, they're still a Catholic, they're still Catholicism, aren't they?
Aye, they're swear to Rome. They're soldiers of Rome, man.
That's what I'm saying. So it wouldn't be them that own the country, would it? It would be.
What's that order, Opus Dei? What are they all about? Is that the same sort of thing?
I do know what you're on about, but it's not coming to me. And I've not got my brain.
Catholic order, Opus Dei.
That rings a bell, mate, but I can't even fucking remember now.
Yeah, lot to do with
You find there's lots though, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like the Knights Templar was interesting, wasn't it? Because they started out helping people to go to the like Holy Land, you know, to see the holy sites.
Yeah.
And all Muslims were killing them on the way.
Yeah, so there's
So they turned up and became like a military arm to protect the Christians.
Yeah.
I ended up being fucking massively wealthy from it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because everyone were donating the money to them when they died. Land, animals, anything they had to leave. The one king left them a third of his kingdom.
Well, see where I stay, right? I stay in Scotstoun. Right across the road from me is Knightswood, right? Right up the road for that is a place called Temple.
Yeah.
And right next to that is a place called Annie's Land, Annual Land. Now, when the Knights Templars came back for the first...
Isn't there a Templar church in Scotland as well, like that round one?
There's hundreds, mate. There's the most famous one with Roswell.
Yeah.
Right, see, Roswell Chapel, that's in Edinburgh, right? So when the Knights Templars came back from the Crusades, the kings were very... they were fucking giving them... They gave them land. Now, the land they got in Scotland, and if you think about it, strategically speaking, up in Scotland, is you can go to east to west and there'll be the least possible fuss from like the Edinburgh and the from Edinburgh to Glasgow. That's the skinniest part of the UK. So for commerce and if you go to east to west coasts, that was strategically very important. So I stay right next to Knightswood, right, which is right next to the Clyde. This was the area of land that was given to the Knights Templar by King David when they came back, because Scotland had a different... Scotland was a different kingdom at the time, and that's why the city of London was given to the Knights Templar, and up here they were given this area of land. That's why you've got Knightswood right next to me. Up the road you've got Temple. That's where the old temple used to be, funnily enough. And over in Edinburgh, the area of land they were given, there's an area, funnily enough, called Temple as well, with an old ruined church, and that's just down the road for Roslin Chapel, which is one of the most famous.
There's a church dedicated to the Templars in Rochdale, and let's remember, Rochdale was the richest town fucking going many, many, many years ago. I've never been to the church, but you can walk in it and look at it, and it's all Knights Templar, and the guy that formed it, he was like Knights Templar head, like, you know what I mean? And then after that formation of that church, Rochdale became the richest northern town.
Well,
in England.
See if you go and watch the tour of the necropolis. It's on my channel. I show you a Knights Templar. He was a Mason and a Knights Templar. He was from Texas. He was born in Edinburgh, fucked over to Texas, came back to Scotland with his missus to do a bit of a tour, ended up dying in Scotland and got buried in the Glasgow necropolis, and his headstone's there. And the Masons and all that have had and he was like a Knights Templar, because what happened was, like, when they went over to Texas and whatnot, they set up, there was the lodges and whatnot, but then they set up things on top of those lodges, and I've broke it all down, man. He was officially a Knights Templar, one of the Texas lodges.
Kip, you should do some videos and like a little series about this and go around.
I've done tons of it, man. It's all on my channel. Fucking, oh yeah, just put in the Glasgow necropolis.
Go back.
Put Glasgow necropolis into my channel. I'll show you, like, oh mate, the Glasgow necropolis is fucking beautiful.
Who do you think these fucking Trumps and Bidens are? Because by rights they should be secret Templars, shouldn't they? And
well, Donald Trump,
but they're not, are they?
Donald Trump's mum's birth certificate is sitting over in Edinburgh. So his mum is Scottish. Make it up what you will.
I think he had a bit of luck with his dad, because his dad made a load of money, didn't he?
Yeah.
And when he bought his first casino, he was passing Donald money without Donald even knowing it. I don't know how true that is, but it is a whisper on the internet.
I'm going to say Donald Trump said he borrowed $1 million from his dad and he made his fortune from that. That was his original line, wasn't it, Donald Trump?
And it's not a bad start, because $1 million back then would have been more like 20, wouldn't it?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you're gonna succeed, aren't you?
But with a bit of luck.
I think he was just the right man, the right
away from
name.
the whorehouses and the crack dealers. You'd be all
Well,
right.
well, maybe the crack dealers, but the whorehouses, I think he still got away with, didn't he? Fucking hell. Hey?
Oh, he's done well.
Donald Trump's got a fucking saying, mate. It's made round to go round.
Oh, it'll be interesting when he comes Prime Minister, President again.
On one of his golf courses, he's put a plaque up through the Civil War, and he's saying loads of people died on both sides, right? And I've actually seen it. It's a real plaque, and it's what were he called out that comedy Bundy? What were it called? Al Bundy. Do you remember the comedy?
Oh, Married with Children. Married with
Yeah,
Children.
Married with Children.
Yeah.
And he says this plaque that Donald Trump's put up. There was never a battle there. He said, so Donald Trump's just invented this completely up. He said, that should give you a clue how fucking insane Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
Well, look how insane some people are, and that's without bags of cash and everybody bowing down to you, you know?
This is what I've been working out. I've been thinking, right, Donald Trump's mad as an atter, right? Fair enough. But so was Bill Clinton. So was George Bush, especially Junior. George Bush Senior was quite a clever bloke, wasn't he? But he was a complete CIA fucking cunt.
Yeah, of course he was.
So Nixon was a good president with intelligence, but he even got caught with his hands in the till. So I don't think you're ever going to get a sane president of America, are you?
No, I think they're all inserts.
You've never had one, have you?
No, they're all inserts. Let's have it right. There's not one man that can run a country. Come on.
No, but they signed the checks, and they could take it to nuclear war or not.
Yeah, but do they make that decision? Do you think honestly the president himself would make that decision? I think the military.
They do, yeah. If the satellite sees the burner of a potential nuclear bomb coming out of Russia, they get contacted straight away, and they've got 6 minutes to make the fucking decision.
Exactly. They get contacted straight away. By who? The military, mate. The military. The military will phone the president and say, Prezi, there's a fucking bomb on the way. We're dropping one, so you best let the public know.
Well, it's they wouldn't let you know. They wouldn't let you know. It's the commander-in-chief that gets to decide.
What I'm saying is, it's the fucking military that run America, mate.
Well, boys, remember this, right? Remember this back in the day when it was George Bush and he was running against John Kerry at the time? And I'm pretty sure it was Fox News or something. It was before the explosion of the internet the way it is now. And one of the presenter asked, it was John Kerry. It was John Kerry. And he was talking about how John Kerry and George Bush were both members of the Skull and Bones. And they were both running for president at the same time. So there's the country club. Every country goes to the country club and goes golfing. And then there's the kind of pretext of like, let's have a wee competition to see who's the best debater. And if Biden doesn't show you it's job for the boys, I don't know what. That guy is fucking, he doesn't know where he is. It's fucking a joke. And is that deliberate? Is that the most powerful nation in the world at the moment getting fucking fucking corpse as a president?
It's desperation, isn't it? Because, don't forget, Biden is basically the Labour Party, isn't it? Yeah?
Democrats.
Pro-fucking ruin your country time, for the good of some weird Rosicrucianist fucking weird shit. I mean, I bet you, we know, don't we, Biden is not in the... what is it? The Church of Christ. You know that one that we were on about, that all the ruling elites go to? He was not in that, is he? I've always thought they're full-on Satanists. When you had that Pizzagate, Obama, Hillary Clinton, with that hanging around with that witch that used to fake eating babies and that. That's what I think them lot are.
You call them Christian Zionists now. I've heard that little title.
Well, that's an old one. That Zionism and Christianity are connected. There's more worldwide Zionists that aren't Jewish. Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
90%. Did you know that?
Well, you've got to remember the Christian. Well, there were a lot of.
I didn't know any of this, don't you?
They go on the Bible, don't they? So in the Bible, it says the Jews and us are allies, aren't we? In the Bible.
Yeah, well,
Same
at the
place,
end of
with
the
the
day,
same story.
the enemy of your enemy is your friend, isn't it? And the enemy is Islam, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
That's
but
what it is.
It's it's mad, but that it's like I can't understand why. I can't understand why Israel is just completely fucking ignoring everybody right now.
Well, because I do. I know exactly what's happening. I get exactly what's happening. I get exactly what they're doing. I get exactly why they're doing it. And do you know what?
Right.
I know it sounds really unpopular at the moment. I completely agree with them. I wish we had a leader like Netanyahu. Netanyahu's my new hero, bro.
To me.
Because, look, he's like, in the Quran, I'm not lying, Muhammad says, kill the fucking Jews.
Yeah.
You can blame Muhammad for this, because them fuckers have that book in the brains. They don't need a book, it's in the brain.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I said earlier on this week. Now,
kill or be killed, isn't it?
If the Bible was written, right, and then 600 years later, the Quran was written, that means that the people who wrote the Quran and the people that will read the Quran have had 600 years to look at the Bible and come to the conclusions. Hang on, they've got plans in that Bible to take over the world, and it's going to end in Armageddon. So if we do this, then they won't win. So I think what's going on right now is Israel is trying to act out what the Bible says, okay? And no one.
Yeah, I do know where you're coming from. I have said that before, but
right, nobody's biting. Yeah, we've been waiting and waiting for fucking Hezbollah to kick off and Iran to kick off, and no one's fucking biting.
It's coming.
But this is
This is what I'm saying. This is why Netanyahu and his boys, and they're all from the West, the big old white Europeans, have said, let's have this war on our terms through a false flag.
Yeah.
Right? And let's go for it, because Iran's a danger that's not going to go away. Right? So let's take it to them under the false flag. Well, I believe it was a false flag.
Yeah.
But the reason they're doing it is because when you're on the chessboard, you have to get the people. You have to say, oh, they were raping, cutting babies' heads off, which all turn out to be a complete lies. But it all fits in, because what you've got to do is you've got to, if your enemy wants to kill you, you got to kill them first.
Yeah.
We didn't send aid to Hitler's Germany, did we? Only some food.
Well, here's a way to look at it, right? Maybe this is what's happening. We're talking about the Knights Templar and the Jesuits and all that jazz, right? The one thing they've got in common is they're definitely extreme Christian fundamentalists, if you want to call it that thing, right? Now, the Knights Templar being one of the most famous one for obvious reasons, but there's a lot of orders that were sworn back then, and it was all by noblemen, knights, and shit who were swearing oaths and orders. Like, was the Order of the Dragon's a good one, right? There's hundreds of them out there.
Yeah, the Red Dragon.
And what were they swearing oaths to do? They were swearing oaths to, especially the Knights Templar and the Knights Hospitallers, they're the most famous ones, but there was a lot of different orders, and they were swearing an oath to facilitate the safe transportation of Christian pilgrims to and from the Holy Land. That's happening, right? And do you know who the Jesuits and the Knights Templar and fundamental Christians equally hate? The fucking Jews. For obvious reasons, killing the baby Jesus and all that, they blame them for that.
But Kit, if you're a Christian, you're welcome to go to Israel and see the Holy Land.
That's what I'm saying, mate. The Christians can go peacefully.
If Islam had it, they'd kill you.
Exactly, this is what I'm saying. So, is it the Jews that are doing what they're doing in Israel, or is it Zionism using Jews? Like has happened through whole of history, Jews have been used one way or the other, if you want to fucking call it that. So is the Christians using them as a standing army and a wall of dead Jewish people to be, so that Christians can come and go to Jerusalem as they please. Now, look what's happening there.
Like that.
Well, look what's happening in Israel. Who's getting slaughtered? Fucking Jews and Muslims. Who's happy with that? The Christians. Who's funding all the fucking bombs and bullets to Israel to kill all the Muslims? Fucking the West. I mean, it's like
the old war. It's the old war. But while all this is going on, we're also letting Muslims flood the West at the same time.
also getting blinded by religion. Religion means see people with bags of cash and power. Religion is fucking nothing. Do you think religion's going to stop these people doing what they want to do? Is it fuck? They'll turn up at church on Sunday, as I said, say they'll hear Mary's and for the projection to the public, and then they'll fucking go away and do what they want to do. In fact, a good analogy, look at all the mafia films that fucking relate to the mafia bosses that go to the priest and all that kind of shit. That's what you've got on a grander scale. Religion is nothing but a fucking off fur coat and no knickers. It's bullshit. Well, the organised religion, I mean, like, people can have their fucking beliefs and all that, of course, but the organised religion is nothing more than a setup, man. Not even a setup, it just steers us at everybody where it steers you into control.
If you look back at religion, it's clearly it's all about power, and then from that is money, isn't it? Everybody's always donated to the church. So you can imagine that this was going on 2,000 years ago. So all these churches, Christianity, Judaism, the Muslim faith, everybody donates to the church. I know that some Muslims
I want to
give a certain percentage of their wage, mate. I've been speaking to people.
Oh yeah, tithe, 10%. That's Islam.
And 10% of the wage.
Chris, the floor is yours. I just want to point something out. Right? Islam, is a death cult. It's a death cult.
Oh yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely.
That's
definitely.
The truth.
You can't beat it either.
Judaism isn't. Christianity isn't really.
Well, you say that, but Judaism, mate, they've got this thing called the Hercules Directive or something like that. And basically, if they're being overrun, they're just going to drop bombs on them fucking selves, mate, and kill everyone. That's their final solution, if you will. Well, if they're getting overrun, just have a look it up. I don't know what it's called, but
I've got no doubt. Well, we've got the same idea.
They're going to just fucking nuke themselves and anyone who pays.
We're willing to have a full nuclear war with Russia, aren't we? If worse comes to the worst.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think. To be fair,
if Russia sends a lot of nuclear bombs to the west in the west direction, we're going to do it back.
See, the most likely scenario is them using what is like tactical nuclear bombs, right? I don't know the very much specifics, but these are like you know how like my assumption and what the programming I've been brought up with is like one big bomb that levels a city. Right, like what happened in Japan, but you can get smaller tactical ones that you can use on.
Tactical nuclear bombs are on submarines.
Well, you know the first place that they're going to hit Russia, don't you?
Well, they go straight for Moscow, wouldn't they? I would have thought.
No, St. Petersburg, no. St. Petersburg, man, or the Crimea.
They'll go for the Ukraine, mate, because that's where the food's grown that feeds Russia. It's that fucking simple. You take out the Ukraine, you've got to remember, if a nuclear bomb lands on there, it's fucked for 1,000 years, mate. Radioactive
we're all
shit.
Fucked, aren't we? Yeah. If they start flying,
they'll bomb the fuck out the Ukraine, mate, because that will starve Russia out.
We all know, don't we, that like it's not the nuclear bomb, it's the fucking aftermath of a nuclear bomb, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think they'll use them. I think some of the weapons that I've seen and looked at on the on the internet and stuff, they're fucking wicked.
Well, do you know who's more inclined to use the nukes than anyone on earth?
Who?
Pakistan.
Yeah, I could say that.
And you know where they're gonna fire them, don't you?
Where?
India.
Yes, they've always hated India, true.
And India's going to return fire. So if you do get a nuclear exchange on the Earth starting, it will be from Pakistan to India, India to Pakistan. Then Pakistan will have a few for, Iran will have a few for Israel, won't they? And
Iran, I think.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Iran's not officially got any, has it?
Well, yeah, they say that officially, but we all.
Well, you
know,
never know. They've been into what's it called? They've been messing about with the technology for years, haven't they? We know that.
And they're friendly with Russia, so that says it all.
They're big pals with Russia.
Yeah.
They're actually supplying Russia with a lot of the weaponry that they're using right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well,
production is cheaper there for Russia than it is in Russia.
some people say Iran's got the largest ballistic missile cache in the Middle East, but it's a matter of what these missiles are, because they'll have like what you would maybe say dumb missiles, you know, point and launch. Then they'll have like certain more sophisticated ones and whatnot. And then I don't know if you have noticed that, like, it's weird. They keep calling these things drones, right? And I get it. It is a drone. It's a fucking aeroplane.
One thing on it the other night, mate.
But it's just a bomb with fucking wings, man. It's
don't.
You know, I know I'm being pedantic about what it's called, but it's weird the way it's getting called drones. It's not the way I...
Hey,
they're only calling them drones because they're unmanned.
Yeah.
It's really only a plane that's you know, you can probably, it'll probably fly itself, or you can fly it from a sensor, you know.
Yeah.
A call centre. I want to use the word call centre.
I'd like to think somebody would have a sense of humour and strap a wee Japanese face to one of them.
Do you know what I'm going to say, all right? You know, if it come on the telly, like, or there's a nuclear war right now and it's happening, I'd go and stand outside, me. I wouldn't go and hide under the table or get in the fire, you know, and put a table in front of me. I'd just go and stand outside, man.
Yeah, waste time.
I wouldn't want to survive it, because it won't be worth surviving, will it? Because there'll be no Aldi, there'll be no Morrison.
Nah, I think people like ourselves would be alright. It's only if you're really in the inner cities, man. Because like,
it's joking. I can spit on Manchester city centre. I'm well dead.
We'll be alright here, mate.
You won't be alright because it's not that. It's the aftermath.
I don't think Manchester has any militarily rich targets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've got Manchester's got loads of nuclear bunkers in it.
Has it?
You know, for the yeah. Even Oldham's got one, which is bizarre.
For those cunts.
All Muslims can run in it, can't they?
That's what it is, mate, to make sure there's still a brown man alive after the apocalypse. It's a conspiracy.
If they offloaded, right, they'd just go for every major city in every that they could, wouldn't they? But again, it's not the bomb, it's not the explosion, it's the radiation after it.
Yeah.
You can't grow anything.
Nope, it's fucked.
Your skin will be falling off in a few months. It's like the immediate kill of a full-on nuclear war is, I think it's 5 billion in like 20 minutes or something like that, and then after it, it's most of the world. You know, over the next couple of years, like.
Have you seen all the different types of weapons that they've both got now, right? You look at the damage that they cause, and you look what a nuclear bomb's, 20, 30 mile radius on a nuclear bomb? So if you took a 30-mile radius, right, they could fucking destroy that 30-mile radius with about 500-600 of these big fucking normal bombs that they've got now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They send
like
3,000
heavy carpet bombing.
Yeah, I think they'll just carpet bomb the entire place. They don't need to go nuclear because they need that land. Once that they've bombed it, that land's fucked. But they need that land. Now they can grow on it after these bombs have been on there because it's not radioactive.
To the best of my knowledge, nuclear weapons is like tactical nuclear weapons that would be used on a battlefront. like for example, in the Russian-Ukrainian thing, if they were brought in for that scenario, it would be to bust through the lines. You know, it's like these are wee smaller condensed things. They're no like those big massive fucking things, are wee smaller things, and you can rattle, and it takes out everything in a smaller circumference.
Crossman said it's the radiation after, mate. It fucks everything up. Even your damage is only 20, 30 miles. That might be the city you want. All the fucking land around it is fucked. So,
but if it's a dire fucking, if it's kill or get killed scenario, that you're going to rattle through the lines. If it's that's the way people are arguing this, mate. If you hear the talking holes for the West and NATO and shit, they're talking about their support for Ukraine is unwavering and all sorts of shit, man. It's like there's no backing down. It's a game of chicken.
It's got a name and it's called gameplay, isn't it? It's actually got a name, gameplay.
Yeah.
And when everything breaks down, gameplay then says, right, your objective is to basically annihilate each other.
Yeah.
There are no winners.
I can't see it, that's it. There are no winners.
I can't see it, Chris. I can't see it. But if there's ever been a time in history where we're closest to it, unfortunately, we're closer to it now than in the Cuban Missile Crisis.
And the Cold War, yeah.
And when we had the Cuban Missile Crisis, we had JFK, who was highly intelligent. Now what we got? Biden.
Yeah.
Donald Trump in a minute. That weird Asian bloke, Rishi Sunak. Fuck that.
Do you know what? When you look at the political leaders all over the world, they're a fucking joke, aren't they?
Watch out, aren't they?
It's a fucking joke. The people that are leading this fucking world are an absolute fucking joke.
That's why I like Netanyahu, because he went to a Jesuit school, you know.
That's you being sticking with the same side. You've got a dog.
I'm being pedantic.
But I mean, come on. If this has done anything right now, and the shit that's going on right now, it's kind of clearly and it's in your face for everyone in the fucking world to see. Even if you're not a conspiracy head, that fucking Israel and all this shit that's going on, it's not right. And you know that people are up to the same power. And they've already got sides. You know what I mean? We're arming them to the fucking teeth. America's arming them to the teeth. We're just as fucking Jewish as they are.
Well, we are the Jews. Right. Are you drinking White and McKay again, Chris?
No, I'm not. I'm just on Aldi whiskey that I got from my shop.
Are you on Aldi whiskey? I tell you what, right? I bought bottles of brandy from Aldi, right? It's the one with the 5 stars on.
I know.
It's fucking brilliant. That's only about fucking 16 quid.
Yeah.
Fuck all wrong with it, mate. Fuck all wrong with it.
13 quid for a bottle of scotch, mate. I'm like,
yeah, Aldi's good, but you know what's not worth buying in Aldi? The white rum. I bought a bottle of the white rum. Fuck no, I've never had an headache like that before in my life. You know, the next day. Oh, fuck that.
What you having with your whiskey, Chris?
Hey?
What you having with your whiskey?
It's Coke, mate. Coca-Cola.
Is that Diet Coke?
I need as much fucking fatten it up as I can get. Look at me.
Well, Diet Coke's better for you because it's got aspartame in.
What's aspartame?
You are joking.
Bacteria shake.
Semen or something is in fucking.
Aspartame is that horrible sweetener that they put in.
Oh no, it's fucking horrible. Remember years ago, right? She used to have those Sweetex things. You used to click them.
Yeah.
All mums had them, didn't they? When there was on a fucking.
Linda's got them here.
I don't even go there, mate. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, they're horrible. I won't even let her make me a brew because when she makes me a brew, she tries to snide me up with these little sweeteners and I drink it like that and I throw it in the sink and go, you put that shit in. She goes, I haven't. I put your real sugar and go, fuck off. But you've got to taste the crap after it, hasn't it?
Yeah, they're horrible, aren't they?
Do you know what I do? I've went to the other extreme. I don't even use sugar. I use honey.
Yeah, it's nice though, isn't it, if you have honey with tea?
Oh, it's fucking amazing, man. But see with the coffee, my ideal coffee, right, is fucking made with honey and cream. Double cream.
Is it coffee snob?
No, I've not had coffee. I've not been able to afford coffee for a while, man. But when I've got it, man, I do that shit.
That's not good. I'd go and rob a Weatherspoon's coffee making machine if that were the case.
No, well, I'll get some shortly, man. But I buy that Rosa or something, the Italian stuff, man.
So what coffee? What are you doing? Are you doing cups of tea?
I just tea, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can do that, man, and I get less jittery.
I like a cup of tea anyway. Make it quite strong. It's fucking banging a cup of tea.
I'm definitely a tea man.
You don't do the coffee, Chris?
Yeah, I like a nice drink of coffee. Yeah, I like that. Called. It's in a metal tin with an orange lid. Americano something. It's fucking lovely.
Oh, I know idea. I know one you're talking about.
It's about £6, so we don't get it very often, but fucking hell, it's nice.
Crossman, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what's happened, but something's. Can you hear that, Chris?
I can hear the beep, 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 beep sort of thing, yeah.
I'm not getting a beep, beep, beep.
It seems to be. I don't know. It's all right when you're talking, but it's when you're not talking you're getting that.
It can't be my end because there is no beep, beep, beep in the room.
Is you? No. It's. I think it's your mouthpiece or something, mate. It sounds like that.
Is it rubbing on your watch?
Is it that? Is it clicking on the clobber?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think it must be something like that. I can't really tell, to be honest, but I just could hear a wee bit.
He's a fucking sound technician snob, isn't
it? No, it's no fixed it, but fuck it.
These have got Samsung written on them. The guy in the shop went, "No, these are genuine." They said, "Are they fucking genuine?" Said they £3 off the fucking internet. You're just charging a tenner for them, you cunt. He says they're genuine. He said, "What, in a little fucking placky sleeve like that?" Fucking do me a favour.
See the power of Amazon, though, right? I'll give you an example, right? So, floating about the gym, right? You see fucking every third or fourth guy with the exact same pair of fucking... I call them flip-flops. I think most people call them fucking sliders nowadays. And it's just because you go into Amazon and you fucking look for the cheapest fucking sliders because you only want them to kick about in the fucking hell sweet way. It's amazing.
We got sliders in Manchester are duds. Underpants, sliders. I've got these here, right? But they're alright for listening to, but they've not got any good sound quality, you know, when you're talking to people.
Oh, see what you've done there, mate? You've fixed it, I think. It's still going on.
No.
I don't know. I can't put my finger on what the fuck it is. It's the weirdest fucking. Chris, what do you think? What does it sound like to you?
I'm gonna get technical now. What's this?
I'm lost, man. I'm beat.
Look at this now. For you fuckers on the internet.
There, I think it's fixed.
Up on an aeroplane when I have both of these in.
Oh, they're brilliant, man. It's working. Oh no.
Right, fucking
hold on.
There you go.
I've got something for you later, boys. It's going to smash your brains. I swear, it's going to be so cool. Wait till later. It needs to be dark.
Fucking hell. Well, it is dark and it needs to be dark.
It needs to be dark.
Right, I'm going to see if that's going out now. Just out of curiosity. Fuck on. Aye, so what's happened to James?
Well, he won't have got any headphones, will he? You can bet your life on that.
You even sent him a message, didn't you? Get some headphones.
I don't know, maybe I did. It's not hard to do, is it? You're in Thailand. You can probably get a pair for a penny.
I'm going to say, they'll be over there. It'll be cheap as fuck.
Aye, so what's happened to James?
Would have thought so, yeah. That's where they make them, isn't it?
I know, yeah.
Well, they won't have any headphones.
They're probably selling them to us cheap. And they cost a fucking fortune.
I don't know. He probably thought that's a bottle of methylated spirits, that mate.
He's all right though, James.
He's all right, but he's not going to live long, is he? He's not in it for the long haul, is he?
if you drink,
what you rolling backy up for? said it was 50p a pack, that. I thought, fucking hell, you can run to the corner shop and get 100 fucking cigs for about maybe a quid. I'm on backy because I'm in England. What about £400 now for 20 Benson and Hedges, don't they? Scandal.
I'm so glad
Couple
I
of years,
gave
it's
up the
going to be
nicotine,
20
man.
quid a fucking bucket of fags.
Yeah, I'll give up by then. I won't go that. I won't go to that extreme. Fuck that.
Crossman, can you do a favour?
No chance.
Hang up the Skypes and
Tim,
go and
we
listen.
can't hear you, mate.
Go and listen back to the
Is it
Skypes,
live?
mate. It's
Yeah, he's muted himself.
oh shit.
And
that's the meaning. That's the meaning of life. That's the meaning of life. No, what we're saying, Crossman, and Crossman, if you can, mate, go and listen back to the stream. Bounce off the Skype for 2 seconds. Go and listen back to the stream, and you'll hear your. See, when you're not talking, I'm just hearing like a pure fucking transformer kind of noise.
Right. Well, it might be my fridge.
No, mate, it's some sort of audio thing. And it, Chris, it's well, I don't know. It's no background noise or anything like that, buddy. It's not that. It's see when you're speaking, perfect. It's when you don't talk, something kicks in or some shit. I can't fucking.
Well, it can't be the headphones, that right? Right. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. Technological snob.
See, that sounds amazing. Oh, it's
sounds
the fucking Illuminati. You knew. See, the Illuminati's fucking.
Do you remember that? You used to think that, didn't you?
Let's listen to this, right? I did one of my videos and I looked on it, right? It had 1 view, but 2 likes. And I'm like, hang on a sec. That doesn't fucking go because you can only like a video once. Right?
Yeah, but but Chris, that happens all the time because YouTube's just. It's not that. I don't think they're like onto us scamming us. It's just that no one can be asked spending any money on it at YouTube, can they? I think.
To you lot too much. They're on me fast.
Chris, see if you use a desktop YouTube, right? You can go to what's called the dashboard, and that gives you a number. Then you can look at your fucking content, and that gives you a different number. And I know what you mean. It doesn't correlate all the time, mate. See, back in the day, if you used to get a viral video, I mean, like years ago, it would go up to 301, right? And then it would freeze.
Stop.
And the reason it would freeze at 301, you would still be getting hundreds, if not thousands, of views. But it would be transferring from one server to the other. Is it got explained to me?
Chris, listen to this for scary. I did a little short of Zorro in this bush, in this big tree in the back garden, when I was a kitten. I got 8,500 views in 12 hours. Yeah? And then I didn't get another view ever.
You know what, mate?
Not one.
Don't love the algos.
Pictures of the dogs.
We're not letting that ball bastard out because of a cat.
I've put pictures of the dogs on or stuff like that, and I've got loads of it, and it's like, it's the fucking dogs. Yeah, I'm trying to get the dogs fall into fucking bits, and you're all more interested in the fucking dogs.
Your subject matter. Your subject matter touched on the naughty step anyway, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
A lot of these people that you say you get 50,000 views, they're only buying them, you know.
Well, I kind of thought that, or I watched, I used to watch, well, I still watch them now, all these allotment videos, I love them. Explaining that...
I used to watch them when I did a bit of growing in this back garden, tomatoes and shit.
Yeah. And one of them, they're brilliant, I love them. One of them was explaining this one time that he'd been approached by this leisure company, and would he like to respond? Well, I'm kind of guessing that these companies, these are the ones that are fucking either on one side or another, mate. Do you know what I mean? And I've had
emails off people like that.
I bet you have, mate. I bet you have. Jump on our fucking bus and we'll get you your fucking hits.
But like I said, there's a lot of very untalented YouTubers and they're doing well. I'm not saying all of them, but some of them are just buying the views to get going. It's not a difficult thing. It's not even massively expensive. They all come. Your views come from indie. You can buy comments as well and thumbs up.
Yeah, but do these? If you bought these things, Does it change you on the algorithm so more people see shit?
Yeah.
The
You can get a viral video if you want it to go mad.
The NEs do the TikToks, right? Because the way TikTok operates is they'll give you, see within the first 10, 15 minutes, you'll get 200 views, easy peasy, and then boom, it'll get throttled. And then they'll start sending you messages saying, do you want to promote your video? Just cost this amount of TikTok fucking tokens. I tried it, right? Yeah. So I put videos up, 200 views, no problem at all. Then I promoted videos and they get 2,000 views. Easy peasy. And then, and I never knew YouTube done this until recently, and I've clocked it. They must have been doing it for ages. You can now promote your YouTube videos. I don't know if you have noticed that. It's the first time I noticed it the other day when I was thinking about the TikTok doing that. And I was like, I wonder why YouTube don't do that. They fucking do. You can go and pay money to promote YouTube videos.
I nearly texted you on Skype at 7:30 in the morning the other day because I left a comment on YouTube and it came up and it went, "We're going to close your channel down."
Mine or yours?
The comments that you're leaving. And the comment that I left was pretty benign, really. All I said was to someone that was pro-Palestinian, I said, yeah, but you want to kill all the rivers to the sea means that you want to kill all the Jews, doesn't it? And I got a warning saying, we're going to close, you give basically an email saying, warning, we'll close your channel down.
Well, did you remember the... See the other day when I sent you the same message 3 times in a row? Right? Because I sent you a message and as you're saying, the message was absolutely fucking water. It was water, it was nothing fucking offensive. And I got a wee box on YouTube, not an email, not an alert, not a fucking guideline or anything.
Yeah, I think mine might have just come up actually. I don't think it was an email. It wasn't an email because I went and looked for it in my emails and I couldn't find it.
And
so
it told me I couldn't comment for a fucking a day. And then I started going like that, can I speak here? In fact, the comment's still up. Can I comment here? And apparently the ban didn't get put in place. But mate, you know yourself.
Did you leave that under my channel then?
Well, it was to one of your comments. You written a comment and I replied, and it was like it was weird. It went, you're being banned for fucking 1 day. You can't comment for 1 day. Community guidelines, pish.
I've stopped leaving comments after that warning. I thought I'm not getting my channel closed down for just chatting shit in comments. Fuck off! I won't leave a fucking comment no more.
Well, what today, mate? And it's easy to switch between. Set up another channel, Crossman's Comments. Crossman's Comments, and just use that as a fucking thing you can throw to the fucking crows. You know what I mean? To protect yourself.
I'm not that asked about leaving comments, to be honest.
But it's the fact you can't. This fucking blows me away.
It's wrong, isn't it? YouTube, like you said, Kit, what annoys me with YouTube is most of the people on YouTube that are doing okayish, right? They're all fucking from the telly, aren't they? Comedians, people from the media, people from the telly.
Russell Brand. Russell Brand is the Messiah.
Oh, he's converted to Christianity. He's getting baptized.
Oh yes, he's gone bald deep. Next he'll be getting his foreskin took off, the whole fucking shebang.
So here's a question then, boys. Here's a question. So this thing that Jesus is coming back, do you think it's more of a metaphor that Christianity is going to be coming back?
No, what it meant in the Bible, apparently. I mean, don't quote me like it meant like he's coming back really quickly, but he never came back. So, well, he did. He came back after his crucifixion, didn't he? Mm-hmm. So, but like in the story, it was meant to be like coming back like within the next generation, like. But they just dragged it out for the next 2,000 years.
I've heard that actually.
Everyone would pay the taxes.
Yeah.
Keep people wanting more, man. Waiting for the sequel.
And not wank themselves off.
Waiting for the rapture.
So here's another thing, boys. Here's another thing that I've got.
It's just that masturbation, really.
this nuclear warlock, right? Now, the powers that be over in Israel are running this by the numbers as far as the Bible's concerned, so it can be put down to Bible prophecy. Now, in the Bible, it says that during the end of times war, right, fire will fall from the sky, take these people out, right? So I'm thinking maybe Israel's got some kind of weaponry system up in a fucking satellite, mate, and it's just going to come down, and there's no warning, and there's no fuck all, mate.
No, Britain's got it. They've got the dragon fire laser, mate. They've got the laser.
But this is what
we have apparently. We've got laser technology in outer space.
This is what I'm saying. This is where they're trying to copy what the Bible says. The Bible says.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I get what you're saying, and I've said it myself. But you've got to remember that what's written in the Bible, it's not that people are making it come true. It's that it's going to come true anyway, isn't it?
Well, no.
Is that what I mean?
It's
to an extent.
Right now, and it wouldn't come true. It wouldn't happen.
There's going to be wars. There's going to be rumours of wars.
Yeah, here's an example. Here's an example.
It was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Here's a good example to back up what you're saying, Crossman. Noah's Ark, right? I'm a big believer that that whole story, which it bounces up everywhere, left, right, and centre, is based on a real event. You know, like a real fucking a flood-like event.
Well,
and
after you got the end of the ice age, the seas rose 200 meters. Do you know that?
Aye, mate. I recently just touched on all this. And don't touch on, don't bring up the ice age to climate fucking folk, man.
Yeah, well, that's the point. So it could be an historical event.
Could be a tsunami.
They even made it wasn't. It was around. The art was a round boat. Did you know that?
Yeah. Sorry, say it again.
You know, like the very first boats, and they actually made one.
I've seen that TV program.
Yeah, they made it in India, didn't they?
I've seen that, mate.
Well, the guy that was behind it, he's like a massive. He deciphers the.
He was a scholar, and he tried to the best of their ability listen to the the accounts of the Ark and recreate it. So although it was to their best of their ability, and it made a shit hole.
He deciphers the Sumerian tablets, basically. The guy, he's quite funny. He's a funny guy. He's a fucking genius, like.
Are you talking about, is it Alan at something Hitchens or something that does all the Atlantis stuff?
No, I don't do that one stuff. He's like, he has a big beard with long hair in the pole.
No, that's not him. I think it's Alan Hitchens. See, that's what Alan...
It's like, he works at sort of like, it might be the British Museum or something like that, but like he's been involved in deciphering the Sumerian tablets. Because the Noah's Ark flood is actually Sumerian, isn't it?
Well, it pops up everywhere, mate. Everywhere.
It's thousands of years older than the Bible.
Aye. I don't think it's one event, or I think it's a story that's been told.
It could be a few events. You do get places flooding. You get mantles of land falling off, don't you, occasionally? And
well, historically. Here's a good theory, right? So I think it's Alan Hitchens, right? He does a lot of the Atlantis stuff. I love it, man. It takes me. Anyway, his kind of shtick is like if you imagine, like you were talking about the Ice Age ending there, then mate, and the rise of the seawater. Now that didn't happen overnight, unless you were in a wee floodplain or something like that. It didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual process. So if by some way, hook or crook, maybe by listening to the animals, because like birds sort of see that shit and say you did have a boat and you were like, oh, fucking bad times are coming, and you rattled fucking 2 of your sheep, 2 of this, and then that would, that over time, you know, remember the stories, the events you used to have with your pals when you were younger, and as you and your pals would be telling other guys that kind of story, would slightly exaggerate shit and all that a wee bit, you know, just as you would.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe that's what the Noah's Ark thing is all about.
The Sumerian language is called an isolate language, meaning it's got no connections to any of the surrounding languages. And what they reckoned was they were probably from maybe India. And they'd
Did you say Icelandic?
Isolate, meaning it's got no connection to any other languages.
I thought that was only the Chinese one.
No. And what they reckoned is that they might have come from India because it got flooded. And then what they might have done is rocked up to somewhere like, you know, Iraq. And then when they landed in Iraq, they taught them how to basically use agriculture.
Right.
Yeah, you know, they taught them to grow food, to farm, to blah, 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 blah. And that's like the start of that civilization in ancient Iraq. That's the theory that this guy's got. And he's like an Oxford University head.
Yep.
So, you know, he's not saying he's not saying it as a fact. He's saying potential.
That's
why the Sumerians look different.
Does that not follow my hypothesis where these intellectuals spread across the world and brought intellectual thinking with them, as well as in the breeding of these people? They brought the intellectual genes to these people.
Yeah,
well, that's the Anunnaki. That's the Anunnaki and Atlantis rolled into one. You know,
very Adolf-esque, that, Chris.
It does. I can give you what it is in evolutionary terms because I've looked at it through evolution. You know more about, like, these people have given this thing names. I didn't look at any of that. I was on my own trip. I didn't look at anything, the Bible or Charles Darwin.
No, you didn't look at it. But guess what? You didn't need to because it's on every fucking documentary. It's on every fucking news feed on the telly when you were a kid growing up. It was taught you in fucking schools.
Yeah, but it was. But
it's also only logical, isn't it? It's logical that we've come from lower primates.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was kind of looking on logical fucking thinking, mate. Not the Bible, not science. I had to look at science for proof.
Think of the similarities in a lot of the stories which can get focused into one belief system or not, right? The Anunnaki, I loved that back in the day for the internet stuff, you know, that's the aliens coming down and breeding with us and all that jazz. Now, again, as you were saying earlier, Crossman, it's about perception and how you interpret these stories. So, the ancient Greek mythology, where they had the gods and then they had demigods, and they would breed with the they would breed with the gods would breed with the normal people, and then you would get the demigods. So it's this kind of same fucking idea as the Anunnaki, if you get me.
These demigods.
Yeah, but boys, slow it down a minute. China, yeah, had a massively advanced society thousands and thousands and thousands of years before the rest of the world. Yeah? What does China connect to? India.
Restaurants.
True. But India, you can walk over the peninsula, can't you, and be in India, Tibet, blah, blah, blah. So if there'd been a rise in seawater and these people that were very advanced had fucked off from India and ended up in Iraq, that would make them seem like the Anunnaki, wouldn't it?
To be fair, you're right there, because India is a very low-lying country, isn't it? I've heard that already. Geologically speaking, that's why they're prone to floods.
So you could make you could have said, "Oh, look, these are like aliens because they're so advanced, because they know how to get these seeds and plant them. You don't need to be a hunter-gatherer anymore. You can settle down and you can have a hierarchy. You know, you can have a leader. You can, you know, and then you go into the tablets of Toth, don't you? So you can actually make the Anunnaki into just an early civilization that's had to fuck off.
Crossman, you're proving my fucking hypothesis right here, dude. You're putting names. You're putting names.
I'm happy about that.
Well, no, I swear that I've got basic sort of what went on, but I don't know the people and the names of them. I've got a basic fucking view of it from evolution-wise, yeah? But what you're saying now, mate, is all tying in with what I'm fucking thinking. It's
Guys,
exactly the same.
See if you haven't
Exactly
touched base with
You've
him.
got the names to it. I didn't look, see it, all that. I went on my own path. That's what I'm saying. You went on that path and found these names. Now I found the evolutionary story to them, and now I'm starting tying it in. You're proving my shit right, mate.
Well, you know that the whole idea of Darwin's evolutionary theory, then, like, that's actually in the Quran. Did you know that? Because in the Quran it says we come from all the smaller, lower level animals.
Yeah.
So Darwin didn't invent the theory of evolution.
No. He didn't give us a full theory. He gave us half of it. He didn't give us the excuse or the cause or what caused it.
They're finding some big problems now with, you know, the way that we've been taught how evolution works.
Yeah, it's impossible to work like that. It's impossible.
They're finding some problems with it. And the problems that they're finding is that the coding of DNA is that complicated.
Yeah.
It's almost as if we have come from fucking outer space and been invented. That's Christopher Hitchens, that, mate.
I know, mate. I've got the wrong shit up, man.
Yeah, no, he's not fucking wrong, mate. We have it. All life's come from outer space. Let's have it right.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Look, I don't believe that, mate. I'm a bit of an anti-alien person, to be honest.
I'm not talking alien, but what I'm talking about is that life, when it came to this planet,
we are stardust. We are stardust.
We've come
walking and talking.
Yeah, we've come from outside of this planet. Definitely.
Oh no, I don't agree with that. No, I think there's been like over thousands and millions of years that it's been very lucky that the environment's ended up being just right, the space from the sun to the earth to get the right temperature. They can't recreate life in a lab.
No.
They can't do that bit.
Exactly. So that's what says to me, life came here in the water as tiny microbes, and they're just the start of DNA. And DNA has got one thing in common. It grows longer in length. That's all it does. It's called the selfish gene. That, what's his face? Dawkins, one of them, Richard Dawkins, the selfish gene, the book. It grows and grows and grows, and that's what it wants to live forever, and it just grows and grows and grows. And that it's took life from a cellular level of about 1 million base codes long to what we are, which is something like 5 billion base codes long. It's just grown.
They've not. Because like Darwin, he under the weak microscopes, they couldn't go deeply inside the genome and all these very tiny things that we can now actually look into. And they're hitting walls, they're hitting big problems. And what the problems are suggesting is there's intelligent design behind life on Earth.
Absolutely, mate.
You see, so I don't like to think like this because I like to be a bit atheistic, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, but this is where I found that everybody's gone wrong.
Well, maybe the universe has got life teeming all over it as well, then.
Yeah, it could well be.
Oh, I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
But it could be that far away, you're never going to see them.
Exactly.
You can have a little fish in the sea around the coast of England. It's never going to meet a little fish that's around the coast of America, is it?
No.
Did you hear about the brains we're talking about the other day in regards to the understanding of space? At first, well, the common theory is space is continuously expanding, but now because of the measurements are looking at shit far away, there's a theory that it might not be so much the Big Bang, it might be the Big Crunch. You know, like universes or space itself might be constantly like contracting, expanding, and then contracting, expanding and contracting. And that might be the cycle of fucking
Well,
universes and stuff.
I've had an original idea on this.
I'll give you my...
My original idea is that if I believe, well, I don't believe it because I don't know it, but if the universe is infinite, right, and I mean fucking infinite, right, you are the centre of the universe, aren't you?
Yeah.
I've always said that everybody's the centre of their own universe.
Well, what I mean is, you might get to the end. You might get to the end of where our telescopes can see. But I've got a feeling if you carried on further, you'd find it even more stuff, and you would never get to an end of it. There'd be no end to it, is what I mean. You know, and even say you didn't get to the end of matter, you know, things existed, the space would be infinite.
Well, along those same lines, and it goes along the sense of time travel, right, which always gets a fucking...
Yeah. No, you've got to go into this as you want.
Well, but when you see a star, right, and this isn't groundbreaking, right? When you see a star, you're seeing that as it was X amount of millions of years ago, not as it is just now.
Yeah, prehistoric times.
So, for example, if you were able to zoom in on that, you would be able to see back in time, technically.
Well, you are doing when we look with our big Hadron Collider telescopes, whatever you call it, back to the beginning, to like the depths of space. Yeah, that is looking back in time. But the more powerful telescopes we get, the more we find.
Well, think of this. Think of this.
So below, as above, so below.
Think of this, Crossman, right? And think of the what I'm thinking here. So, if we're looking at a star out there, and that's however many million years ago, and like, let's say, for example, fuck knows, the technology advances so much, you can actually get a picture of the surface of the star, or even some of the planets around it, etc., etc. Now, if that can happen, right, which I don't think is beyond the realms of possibility, if you can send a probe out there and get it fucking so far away that it can look back on Earth, then it can see what's happening on Earth back in time. So it's not quite time travel, but you might be able to fucking see back in time. I know that it's just a stupid concept in theory, if you get me.
It's right. If you're looking at a star now, right, let's say it's so many miles away. Now, the light from that star has took 1 million years to get here. It's that far away. It's took 1 million years to get here. So when you look at it, you're technically looking at it 1 million years ago.
Yeah, well, even the light that we see in the sky, some of it actually no longer exists.
Yeah.
The actual star's gone.
Yeah, it's blown up and it's gone. We're just seeing the lights.
It's actually turned into a black hole. There's another theory. It's called that the universe is an inside-out black hole. Have you heard of that one?
The universe, mate. I'll tell you.
Is an inside-out black hole.
Mate, my mind went to a bad place there, but I get you.
Yeah, no, it gets really weird, doesn't it? It gets really weird, doesn't it?
Black hole.
Well, if you get on the other side of a black hole, yeah, we don't know what's on the other side of it. But we do know that they're all over the universe, and they're all sucking in stars and planets.
That's it. It's an implosion. It's not an explosion. It's an implosion.
This is why they've had to come up with the multiverse theory.
Did you know say that if you were getting sucked... Well, the theory is if you get sucked into a black hole, you really wouldn't know it because time starts bending and it would either go extremely fast or extremely slow. I can't remember. I think it goes extremely slow.
I think it's just a vacuum in space, personally.
Well,
you know,
it's more complicated than that. Like a tornado in space.
See, when you say that, Chris, I just think it. No, see when you
it's always the right one, mate. Occam's razor.
See when you say it's a vacuum in space, I just think of Spaceballs and the big robot in space with the big Hoover fucking sucking up the planet's fucking sucking Hoover in space.
Yeah, but we've seen things in telescopes disappear, and we know it's gone through a black hole, don't we? I think so.
Yeah.
There's loads. They're very good. Like, I mean, I'm not big on this stuff what we're talking about, but like, I do occasionally have a little look into like what the modern day experts are saying. They're very good, aren't they, at the night sky? Very fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, and like it would people like Einstein come up with theories, and they've now been proven right. You know, like even to the fact that time is slower the further you get away. Like we've actually discovered that now, haven't we?
A lot of it, mate.
No. Time isn't slower the further you're away, and I know this because of recent shit they were talking about the moon. It's the gravity, believe it or not. So, like, if you get an atomic clock, which I don't know how it works, I don't know how it's atomic.
But if we put you in a spaceship and we sent you twice as far away as the sun, and then we turned you around and you come back, we'd all be dead.
Here, hold on a second.
But you wouldn't really. You might be 20 years older.
Mate, did they no cover this shit in Back to the Future? When Doc sent his dog fucking to the future. Remember when he was first testing it out and the wee dog had a fucking time?
Yeah.
They both synchronised their clocks.
It was really good, wasn't it? Back to the Future. Still watch Back to the Future, to be honest.
Mate, they've just done, well, they've not done it, but apparently this is the script because everybody's fighting over territory in the moon. If you put a atomic clock on the moon and come back and get it 50 years' time, it's going to be, right, hold on, let me get this right, smaller gravity, longer time. It's going to be 1 second quicker than on Earth. Now, does that mean that time is moving quicker, or is it just, it bamboozles my nut?
Is it not? Well, hang on. Is that not to do with the settings of the actual thing? Because it's set to count 24 hours going round.
No.
It doesn't take 24 hours going round, does it? It's slower.
No, atomic clocks don't work that way, mate. But listen, stick it in your... Hold on, stick it in your Googles. I've got Google here. Because there's a fight over to set a time zone for the moon, because everybody's up there now. So NASA's trying to get in there.
Moon. Right, got you. It's all fucking bullshit, isn't it? Isn't it all bullshit? Then?
Well, it's fighting over resources, man.
It's not bullshit. It's not bullshit. It's that if you go far enough away from the Earth, you will age slower than the people are on there. To the point where if you go far enough away, you'll come back and everyone will be fucking dead.
Yeah,
you'll be like 20,000 years in the future when you come back.
Well, I don't
it's
know.
Not bullshit.
Time will continue on and the world will carry on spinning, but you're not part of the world. So if you're out in space, however long you're out in space for, is still the same amount of time that the people are on Earth. So you might not age because of the pressure and the gravity on Earth. That is what ages us, and the solar and whatever. So if you were out in space for 20 years, you'd come back the same age, but you'd just look a damn sight fucking better. You won't have been.
Yeah, but if you can travel at the speed, if you can travel at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Superman went around the Earth to bring back his bird?
Yeah.
There you go then.
Yeah, I've seen that experiment. I've seen that experiment too, mate.
But we can't travel at the speed of light, and we never will be able to. So
can I just say that right now, live on air, I'm having a piss.
We're doing it in the collider, aren't we? We're doing these experiments in the collider.
What is that collider trying to find? I don't know what
it's trying to find out. It's trying to find what happened at the beginning of the universe. For what?
At the beginning of the universe, that was easy.
Yeah.
Easy. You want me to... Don't, because I've got to
trying to find what atoms do, aren't they? They're trying to find what all this quantum physics is about, aren't they? I don't know what it is about.
It's looking at uranium. Uranium is what they need to be looking at. Because uranium is the key to everything. Evolution and the creation of this fucking universe. Because when uranium
You're doing it again now, Chris. You're doing it again. I'm not going to snap tonight. I've told you so, don't snap.
Nuclear bomb test, right, that they used uranium in, okay? When it exploded, one, not all of the uranium exploded, and two, because protons and photons and electrons fly out during a nuclear explosion, right? It changes the atomic mass of the metal, i.e. the uranium. So that piece of chunk of uranium then turns into a completely different metal. It could turn into gold, depending on how many protons and electrons have flown out during the explosion. So it creates new elements, is what it does. A nuclear explosion from uranium creates new elements, right? Now, look at the universe, look at all the planets in the universe, and they are all made up, and science will look at this and tell you, they are all made up of just different elements in the universe. Every single planet that you see is made up of different elements, right? Now, if you rewind that big explosion, right, with the fact that uranium creates new elements when it explodes, simply rewind, right, the universe now all back together, and what would you come up with? Two massive fucking gargantuan planets made entirely of uranium. And when they fucking explode together, everything goes out. Everything's molten. All the photons and electrons change. All the fucking makeup of all the metal that's in there, all the uranium in there. And this is why you've got fucking trillions and trillions of elements, massive chunks of elements, that when molten after the explosion and the heat, they form the path of least resistance in a shape. That's why everything is round. It cools down, and there's your fucking planet made entirely of fucking gold, or made entirely of iron, or fucking this and that.
Here, tell me where that fucking planet of gold is, mate. That's all I'm interested in now.
It's possible, mate. What do you think?
Oh, no, I know it's possible, mate.
Stick it on a big chain.
Aye, down to...
Oh,
here the...
That's not a knife. This is a fucking knife.
Because it's only created in a nuclear explosion when protons and electrons and neutrons fly out.
So
at the moment of the explosion, fly out, and that leaves that fucking metal. Then, not all of them fly out. Only some fly out.
Right. So
like, I think it's 98 protons, neutrons, and electrons. Right. If fucking 5 or 6 of them came out, you'd be left with fucking gold. Just look down on the table, and that's what metal you'd be left with.
Are you saying that the universe is...
With quantum theory, there'll be limitless.
Chris, are you saying the universe is set up?
They are, yeah, basically. You know what I mean? We've not. That's what they're doing in the Hadron Collider, isn't it? That's what they're trying to do. They're doing all it. Yeah. I don't agree with any of these top scientists, but I do actually have to accept that they are massive.
They're not doing, I think.
It's stolen information from the past, though, isn't it? Most of it.
Chris, are you saying the universe is set up with nuclear explosions?
Yeah, one big massive one. Two gargantuan.
Is that the Big Bang or that?
Can we call it the Big Bang?
The Big Bang came from nothing. There was nothing there. There was nothing there, and it just exploded. Right? That's rubbish. That's complete and utter rubbish. Right? What I'm saying is, I believe this fucking universe, mate, is a chamber. Right? You take everything out of it, and what have you got? It's pitch black, no air, minus 1,000 fucking degrees. It's a.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know why they believe in the Big Bang?
Why?
Because it's the only theory that works.
Yeah, it does, but
and we can see the universe expanding.
Well, listen, they've got all the fucking information they need. Look at the information that I found out about a nuclear bomb when it explodes, what it does, right? That's what it does. It creates, in an explosion of uranium, right? It creates new elements. They found strontium, which is like 2 or 3 different atomic mass away from uranium. It's all a bit more, actually. I can't even know. I'll look on the periodical table.
So where's the conspiracy slant on this, Chris? They're hiding that from us for what reason? Or who's hiding what?
It's too much. It's too much. It's too much for it, because what it is, mate, it's from my thinking, and this is just me, and yeah, I've spent a fucking lifetime on it, but it says to me that God is real, mate. God is a living, breathing being outside of this universe that has created life. And when we leave this earthly realm, everything we are in the electronic impulses that are stored in our brain, these impulses leave us and go up there, and he's got all the information that he needs. I was thinking about this. I'm going to do this video. I was thinking about this. God already knows who you are, right? God already knows who you are because of the people that have passed that knew you have gone up there, right? And he knows everything about all their memories, and in their memories is you and the time they spent with you. So God already knows who you are, mate. How mad's that?
I hear you, mate.
Are you getting the simplicity of it?
Well, each to their own beliefs. Like
not
what you call God, people call different things. People have different perspectives of God. One thing I can definitely get on board with is like where my head's at is that life isn't a big mistake. There is intelligence behind it on some level.
Can I tell you something now, right, boys? And I've only had a couple of whiskies, but I've seen this myself. I have seen, right? I shit you not, I have seen this with my own two eyes.
Make that your own last whiskey, mate.
I have seen, and I was as sober as a judge. I was sober as a judge. And all I saw, these electronic impulses that I think or believe hold all our memories, and that's where we go up to our creator there, right? I saw a member of my family passed away, and I was right next to him. And as they passed and their head was dropping and life was leaving them, I looked on the top of their head and I couldn't focus on the hair. There was some kind of what you call chromatic aberration. Do you know, like when the sun shines on the road and the heat bounces back up and it's wobbly? You seen that?
Haze.
The distance, you look at the road and the heat bounces off the road, doesn't it? And you can see it wobbling back up and it goes all blurry. You know that kind of thing.
You get it in airport runways.
It was all blurry. It was all blurry. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't focus on the hairs on the head. I looked towards the fringe and I could concentrate on them. I looked back and it was all blurry, mate. It was all blurry. And I even reached out. I shit you not, mate. And I thought, do you know what?
Yeah, but come on, let me point something out. We're only your brain with these eyes, aren't we? Just because we say something, don't mean that much to me. That's some weird shit, man. And I don't believe that people there. It's just like I've had a load of acid tablets.
I can't explain it. I can't explain it, mate.
I was tripping in my bedroom once, and it was like old school wallpaper with hexagonals on it, and they all started spinning, and it looked dead pretty. And then they went sideways and flew at me like Chinese throwing stars.
I've seen death too many times, mate, and it's fucking horrible. And that's why I suppose I've got this thing for it. I need to fucking know.
Don't say that too loud, mate.
I need to know, mate. I need to know. I do. I need to know what's up there.
Well, kill yourself then.
You're not the first person to experience stuff like that, Chris, man. I've never experienced it, so I'm still a bit sceptical and all that.
Never experienced ghosts.
You know, if I get a highly religious nut job, I said, well, why don't you kill yourself?
Because that's not the way.
I'm saying, yeah, but like, if you're so confident that like it's all as you said, why don't you just jump off a fucking building? You're going to be fine, aren't you?
I used to suffer with death anxiety, mate, and I was on fucking medication.
I think we all do that, bro.
But I don't know more, mate. I don't know more. I've got no fucking absolute any doubt in my mind.
Because you're getting old, bro.
No. From what I've learned, right, I have got no doubt in my mind that God exists, mate. And it's not the God of the Bible, right? It's nothing to do with the God of the Bible because God does not exist in this universe. I'll say to you and I'll say to anyone else, look up at the sky in the daytime, you'll see the sun and you'll see clouds. And on them clouds, you won't see any God sitting on a throne and you won't see any angels or fucking prophets or whatever, right? You look at night and you'll see planets, and they're just different fucking elements floating around the fucking universe. So where's God? He cannot
Chris.
be in this universe.
Chris, I'm so happy for you, mate, that you've organised shit and you're head into a way that's no, but I'm being serious. You've came to your own belief system, which is helping your
you know
fucking.
What he wants to do, don't you? What you want to do now is convert to Christianity, get baptised, like Russell Brand.
I'm a proddy already, mate. I'm a proddy already, born and fucking bred. It's mad, but we were never brought up with religion. So none of that affected me. You know what I mean? In my thinking and stopping me looking.
If there's this great God, if there is this great God, then I'm not saying there isn't at all. Right?
Well, you believe in God.
Why are we on a planet full of fucking thermonuclear weapons?
Because that's what creates the universe.
Listen, that's just man, isn't it? We're looking at what we can do, and we're still on the fucking bottom rung of the ladder, mate. We're just getting out of being fucking primates. We still look like them.
We are so arrogant. We're so arrogant as a species, thinking we've reached some sort of pinnacle intellectually or fucking even physically, and we're just no anywhere near it. I don't think.
No, well, where do you think
every generation feels the same.
Primate, eh?
If the creator exists for me, he's omnipresent, he's absolutely everywhere, and he's nowhere at the same time.
Well,
the God that I would be on about is fully quantum.
Give me a realistic or explanation of that. Where is he? If he's everywhere, where is he? Is he in your room? Is he in my room?
He's in the smile of a child.
No, but listen, boys, listen to what he's saying. He's working for that paradigm. Where is he? Show me where he is, right? So number one, you're sticking a dick or a vagina on him or whatever. For
why
me,
why is it a he?
It's the golden ratio is a good thing. That is ever present, mate, everywhere, in almost pretty much every bit of nature. Nature. The golden ratio.
Oh yeah.
That's why the Mona Lisa's a classic. It's not because she's a pretty woman and he drew a good picture. It's because it's got the golden ratio encrypted into it, which is advanced mathematics, and that's how you pass it down. The master to the apprentice. That's why the Mona Lisa's such a fucking.
I'm not massively impressed with the golden ratio, Lonnie.
Mate, watch Donald Duck in Mathematic Land. Blow your
I'm just
mind,
not. I don't get it. I know. I've seen loads of pictures that have, got the ratio on it, and I just think, fucking bollocks. But for me, well,
that's the golden ratio. Do you think the Mona Lisa's an attractive fucking woman going on that picture?
Well, this is what I'm saying.
It's a bit spicky for me.
Yes, a bit plain,
it's got advanced. The reasons it's a classic, right? It was done by Da Vinci, right? Da Vinci was more of a fucking inventor and a fucking a thinker and a philosopher than he was a painter.
And buggering young boys, apparently.
Aye, man, well, that's just the way the world back then. But he was also he was really intelligent, had a lot of fucking knowledge passed down to him, and thus all the inventions and stuff. And the Mona Lisa's get advanced mathematics. I'm telling you guys, you find it on YouTube very easy. Donald Duck and Mathematic Lands.
I've done it years ago.
Fucking
I've seen something on this, boys, that Da Vinci actually took his own sort of golden rule fucking face and put those dimensions and just painted himself as a woman. I've heard that as well.
Well, it comes to
as a woman according to his facial dimensions.
We're going to slip into geometry here, aren't we, in a minute?
Oh, that's what it's good.
Somebody at the time thought the perfect woman was this and the geometry of her face, and they put that down as the golden fucking what's her name?
No, mate. The golden ratio's on a she cell. It's on a leaf. It's in everything. absolutely
No,
fucking everything.
That's the Fibonacci sequence. that
It's the
you're on about.
the Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio is different, or is it similar if you want to call it that? Right?
That's what I'm saying.
That's it there.
The golden ratio is like a whale on its side, isn't it?
Well,
and the Fibonacci sequence are the spirals that the universe is built up from. So you get the Fibonacci sequence in flowers.
The golden ratios in mathematics, right? Hold on, I'll share the screen with these guys and I'll show you if I can.
It's like an asymmetrical face is attractive, but if you get a perfect asymmetrical face, that's not attractive. You need a slight bit of it. That's it. There you go. There it is. Yeah.
There, it's in a seashell. It's in a necropolis. It's in architecture everywhere. It's the proportions.
Bro, that's a spiral.
It's the ratio, mate. It's the ratio. Like it's in your fingers. Every single one of your bones. Every single one of your bones is in the exact same golden ratio. It's also in guitars. Let me see, golden ratio. This is.
Careful going through your history, dude.
This is why Pythagoras get flung out of Greece because he was going against. He had to flee for Greece and go to Italy because him and his Pythagoreans were meeting in secret and they had a secret handshake. This is all learnt by Donald Duck. And their secret emblem was the what do you call the 5-pointed star? Pentagram. Yeah. The secret secret emblem was the pentagram because again the pentagram, if you break it down, it's got the golden ratio in it. What Donald Duck will teach you this: guitar, golden ratio, music, scale. That's what I'm going to do. Music. Scale, because that's where music comes from.
Yeah.
There we go. There it's there. There's the ratios.
Yeah, well, they reckon Mozart were using it, don't they?
Not everybody's using it. It's no secret. That's how every string instrument, everything uses the golden ratio. That's why it sounds so dee. That's why it sounds so sweet to the ear. That's why it that's what I'm saying. That's why it's my God. My God's a fucking number. But it's just the design for life. It's a design for life.
Mathematics can be found in everything.
That's a good picture, right? It shows you the golden ratio in the guitar, the notes, the strings, and the seashells. Seashells on the seashore. Easy for me to say. It's amazing, man. It fascinates me to fuck. Yeah. There it's in the Mona Lisa. Right, it's this scale, proportion, eyes to blah blah blah. This is what artists learn because, like, I don't know if you've ever done when you were doing art in school when you were trying to do portraits.
This is what I'm trying to say without being rude to anyone. I just don't find it impressive.
I get it, but it's just in life, mate.
Whether it's coincidence, I don't know, but there is something behind it. Clearly, if you look at it, there is something behind it.
I like that one. I like that one.
There's the most famous Da Vinci one, right? Yeah. Again, every proportion. Now, he's doing the limbs and all that there, but this goes down to your fingers. Yeah, all your fingers and your bones.
That picture is on about asymmetrical, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's about the ratio.
Well, what if you're a cripple and you've got one dodgy leg that's shorter than the other?
I was going to say, what if a black dude with a huge cock? That fucking line. Fucking.
I bet he do them in his spare time, bro. Don't worry about
that. There's two famous pictures, and both of them have got the golden ratio encoded in them.
Yeah, so, you see this one on the left? My mate's recreated that.
Aye?
You know, on canvas. Yeah, he's done it really good. Yeah.
There it's there on the human face. It's everywhere, man. For seashells, and it's just the same ratio, repetitively repeated. It's fucking amazing, man. Plus, if you like pool and snooker, Donald Duck will teach you how to master that fucking game. just by using mathematics and the golden ratio on a pool table. I wish.
No.
Do you remember when you were that young? I used to love pool when I was younger. And when you were that age, when your head was just that sponge and you could get right into it and soak it in. See, if somebody played that to me, I would have just loved it because it would have taught me how to play pool and it would have sucked me into a pure world of advanced mathematics.
Could have won a few quid at the fucking pool table instead of losing.
There's the proportions again.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, the greatest snooker player that's ever lived, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's not exactly fucking highly intelligent, is he?
He's natural though, by the way. I'm not a big fucking snooker fan anymore. But apparently, mate, he doesn't even line it up. He's just boom. But that just comes with time. And a lot of cocaine.
Well, he's actually just next level, anyway.
Apparently that's the word on the street, man. He's just like taps into fucking...
He's just ridiculous.
Aye.
He shouldn't exist.
I look there, it's getting reproduced in art as well, just the golden ratio. And it's simplifying it, saying it's the golden ratio, but it's just everywhere. That's what's in that gold thing behind me.
Is it in a 3-year-old's drawing?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Maybe fucking Einstein's.
Is it in Matchstick Cats and Dogs?
I love that song.
It's in your cock and balls, look, according to... But I find it absolutely fascinating, man.
Yeah, it's good, that one. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, the ancient Egyptians warned against the geometry of what created the nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, remember the nuclear bomb was nothing more than...
I think I've got that off from someone that's a bit of a nut job, like, so I don't know how true it is.
But the nuclear bomb, like, was Einstein's work in the sense that it was nothing more than his concept of the theory of relativity in atoms. And his theory of relativity, if fucking, when it's kind of been proven to be very along the right lines, he predicted fucking time travel and all that shit and bending time and all sorts of craziness.
They predict time travel, but it's never going to happen because it's not that theoretically you could create time travel. Yeah, but you can't. You'd need to make a ship that can go at least as fast as the speed of light. Right, which means you'd have to travel in a straight line across space. What if there's a rock in your way?
I don't know if Einstein thought of that, mate.
There's space debris out there, man.
Hold on, I've got myself confused now where everybody is. Well, see the way I understood it, Crossman, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because this was a Channel 4 programme when I was like 21-year-old or something, and I'll try to explain it.
Yeah.
Einstein said, and he was like explaining gravity, right? And then
many years ago, Kit. Yeah.
And it was explaining what time and space was, and the way they simplified it was like, think of time and space as a bit of paper, and if you put a wee ball on that bit of paper, or even like a sheet,
fold the paper in half. Yeah.
That kind of shit. So it's like, it's not a matter of travelling the distance, it's more if you can. And in theory, Einstein theorised it could be done, bend time, as opposed to fucking travel through it.
Yeah.
So you'd be travelling relatively a small distance, but you'd be like as if you could bend time, you'd bend it back on itself and punch through.
You don't know what they'll be able to do in 500 years. I'm going to say that. But if you did invent a time machine, just say you did, right? That would be where everyone would be able to time travel to. That'd be the beginning point of time travel. Because before that, there wouldn't have been the invention of a time machine. So when it does get created, all the future time travelers will all travel to that one point in time. That'll be the beginning of time travel.
See, this is the stuff I used to love about Conspiracy World before it started trying to get you. Before it started trying to get you vote for UKIP.
That's Terence McKenna, by the way, not me.
No, I love
kind
that.
of see it like this. I kind of see it like this. If you imagine the world and the universe, as I said, in a big explosion, you look at a firework.
If you imagine all the people,
right? If you look at like a firework and it just explodes and then it goes out and then boom, it fizzes out. Yeah, I think that's what it is with this universe. It's a big explosion. Everything's fucking rocking right now, but over time, it's just all going to fizzle fucking out. The sun's going to die. The light's going to fucking disappear.
Yeah,
there's no going back. It's only going forward.
But like we're talking that far in the future, it's not going to matter to us. Just the same as the Big Bang in the past.
In the future,
what they reckon with the Big Bang is you get the explosion, it expands out, and then at some point, like an elastic band, it all comes back in and disappears again. And then they reckon that happens again, and it's happening in multiverses.
No, a firework. No, is it? A firework.
A chain reaction. Is that what you mean?
No, I'm saying is look at a fire, one of these big fireworks that explodes and it makes a big ball in the sky of all different fucking colours, right? That's the same as the fucking universe. It's just a big explosion, right? And it's going on and on and on for millions and millions of years, and eventually everything that's hot will fucking cool down, including this Earth, including the sun.
It's not millions and millions and millions of years, is it? It's trillions and trillions and trillions.
Yeah, trillions of years, but I don't think that's it. They're all on a path. They're all just going outwards. There is no going back. There is no time travel. You're just going forwards until you fucking fizzle out, mate. There is no time travel. It's fucking bollocks.
I don't know. I reckon there might be advanced.
Oh, do you know what? Do you know what, by the way, guys? It reminds me I was speaking to a mate earlier on the day, right? And we were just having shits and giggles, and we started talking about the pictures of reincarnation that goes about, right? So if you want to fucking... Hold on, I'll see if I can get them up, actually. John Travolta and fucking Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah, I've seen them, yeah.
Yeah.
Scary, aren't
they?
Yeah. Proper spooky.
And apparently both of them are Scientologists. Oh man, really John Travolta, man. But the Nicolas Cage one is fucking scary. Where's Nicolas Cage?
Fucking hell, yeah. See that there now. Look at that. I mean, it's got to be some kind of relative of his from years ago.
Yeah, well, don't it have to be a relative?
You get like throwback genes, don't you?
Look at the Nicolas Cage one. Can you see that, Chris? That is the.
Yeah, he's another one as well. That's mad. Look at that one.
Fucking mental. He's got the same moustache and haircut, the whole shebang. Oh, aye, man.
That is good.
Look, everyone has a look-alike. I've had people say to me, "Fucking hell, I seen you the other day. You walked right past me." No, you didn't. Fucking hell, you've got a doppelganger. Like, you know what I mean? It just happens, doesn't it?
Apparently we all do, man. Apparently we all do have
Of
doppelgangers.
course we do. No, there's someone on the earth looks a bit like you. Somewhere.
Lads, I'll just say Paul McCartney.
So you get a doppelganger?
Of course he has.
Oh, that's right, he died, didn't he?
He wants you to bring up Paul McCartney and he's the modern Paul McCartney with the original Paul McCartney.
Thank you.
Just put in Paul McCartney fake or something. I don't know how you word it. What would you word it as, Chris?
Put Billy Shears.
I don't know if that'll bring you up.
Yeah, that'll bring you Paul McCartney's face, mate. That's what it'll bring you.
But you want the two pictures side by side, don't you?
Oh, look, I don't know if you can see this, right? This is Donald Duck going back to ancient
Greece.
Right, this is Donald Duck showing you that the Pythagoreans.
Mathematics and music.
Mathematics and music?
Can you see
You'll
that
find
audio?
mathematics in the darndest places.
No,
We've got no audio.
we've got no audio on, mate.
Right. I need to.
You see if the internet can hear it. Hang on.
Then the internet can hear it, but you boys can't. It's just because of this fucking.
Yeah, the internet can hear it, but we can't. It's all right.
I can
Daffy
maybe
anyway.
fix this.
He's saying
Good
say
title.
Walt Disney was holding people back.
Now divide in half. Plunk again.
Here's the music bit.
You see? It's the same tone, 1 octave higher. Now divide the next section. And the next. Pythagoras discovered the octave had a ratio of 2 to 1.
That's the ratio.
With simple fractions, he got this.
So
And from this harmony in numbers developed the musical scale of today.
It's so beautiful, man.
You can imagine how excited Pythagoras was when he shared his findings with his pals, a fraternity of eggheads, known as the Pythagoreans. They used to meet in secret to discuss their mathematical discoveries.
I might be
Only
able to
members were allowed to attend. They had a secret emblem, the pentagram.
Handshake with a pentagram.
Let's see what the topic is for today.
Oh, look.
Right now, I don't know about you boys, man. You can see how intoxicating that is. That's fucking amazing. Then he goes on to teach you how to play pool. But he's talking about how it all comes from maths, and when you think about music is maths because it's a musical scale, and that's why it does sound boo 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 boo. And that is and there is no coincidence, as you were saying, the design for life, the intelligence behind life. That's why I always harp on about these mathematics, because it's everywhere, from your skeleton to your face, from the macro to the micro, to musical scales. It's absolute in nature. It's absolute everywhere. Every flower you see has got that geometry behind it, and that golden ratio.
Exactly.
That Donald Duck, Adventure in Colour, Mathematical, and 1961, man. Shit hot, man. I love that. Oh, look, even there's Donald showing you in...
Golden rectangle dominated the idea of beauty and architecture throughout the Western world. The Cathedral of Notre Dame is an outstanding example. The Renaissance painters knew this secret well. Today, the golden rectangle is very much a part of our modern world. Modern painters have rediscovered the magic of these proportions. Indeed, this ideal proportion is to be found in life itself.
What's going to happen?
Donald. No.
Ideal proportion.
Not quite. No, I'm afraid not. Well, we can't all be mathematically perfect. Now that you're all pent up in a pentagon, let's see how nature uses this same mathematical form. The petunia. The star jasmine. The starfish.
Oh, mathematics.
The wax flower. There are literally thousands of members in good standing in nature's Pythagorean Society of the Stars. All nature's works have a mathematical logic, and her patterns are limitless.
Look at this. That's the golden ratio in the pentagram. So all you need to do is draw a pentagram, you get the golden ratio, which is in fucking shells everywhere. And vaginas. The vaginas get a golden ratio in it, the clitoris and the bone.
The magic proportions of the golden section are often found in the spirals of nature's designs.
Acorns, that's why acorns.
The profusion of mathematical forms brings to mind the words of Pythagoras. Everything is arranged according to number and mathematical shape. Yes, there is mathematics in music, in art, in just about everything. And as the Greeks had guessed, the rules are always the same.
So is that the design for life? That's kind of the way I see it, and the maths is the design for life.
You know, I think it might have something to do with. I think
Sorry,
it
mate?
might have something to do with like a vibration, because I've seen like these experiments where they put like iron filings.
Yes. On a plate. Yeah.
Yeah, and different vibrations create different shapes. Maybe it's something to do with the vibration of the earth.
Yeah, but they're all written down in stone in ancient Egypt.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with the vibration of the earth. This golden ratio thing, whatever it's called. Yeah.
No, the world is built up on what do you call it? Oh, what's it called? You know, like the TV screen pixels.
Yeah.
That's what the actual universe is built on.
Yeah.
So, static.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it. You turn your telly on and you see all that static. That's your fucking TV aerial picking up radiation left over from the Big Bang, mate.
So they said
today.
No,
that's true.
I know they said that, but what I'm going to say is, just because we're a brain and a body with eyes, doesn't mean that we're actually seeing anything that's real at all, does it?
Well,
you've got to have a lot. You've got to have a lot of faith in the human senses.
Well,
to actually.
Yeah, but you've got to rely on. So if you want to go deeper into it,
It's
and you
going
want to,
George Michael, isn't it? You got to have faith.
you do. You do.
Guys, I'm gonna pop out to the shop. So do you want me to leave you to it, or do you want me to stick on this and you can talk in the background?
Yeah, you can leave us to it.
Yeah,
I'm just going to set Linda some up to eat in a minute, but I won't take me a second. That so yeah, you find
all right. Do you want me to stick that on now?
Yeah.
Do you want me to stick the Donald Duck shit on?
No, fuck that. No, we'll just waffle. Kit, what we wanted you to do was put Paul McCartney on. Just the pictures on the screen.
Let me see if I can find Paul McCartney then. What are you talking about? Paul McCartney's replacement?
Yeah.
Right.
Paul. Go into Google images. Not bad. You've not done bad.
What would I say?
Paul
McCartney. Clone. That'll get a good picture up.
Yeah.
Dude, put Paul versus Paul.
That's fine.
Is that him?
There. That one there.
Put it on big screen.
That's the one. That big one there. That one. There you go.
What one? The one that's up?
That one, the first one that you went to. Hold on.
They're both the same. They look the
same. Oh shit! I've done something now. I don't know what I'm doing.
You've done something weird there, bro.
I know. It was like a screenshot thing. I don't know how it works though.
You can't use a young and old one. They've got to be like where they've really cracking on the switch.
That black and white one's the best. That's the same fucking bloke. That one you got the cursor on. That's just him when he's older. Go on the
right. Hold on. I can see a wee bit. The guys get a wee bit of a wider top lip.
Exactly. Maybe it's longer.
Oh, aye. Maybe it's his haircut though.
Look at his chin's longer. His ears don't stick out as much. His
He's get longer hair. Well, I don't know, mate. Do you know what? I love to fucking believe it because I love the album cover thing with you with his shoes on and all that jazz.
Here's the thing, right? Paul McCartney had a cow's lick, right? And that's why on one of them he always brushes his hair over to one side because it used to stick up like a bastard. And this came from his hairdresser. While the other one, he's just got a little parting in the middle. You'll never see that with the real Paul McCartney. He always brushed his hair over because he had a cow slick or a calf's lick in his hair. And it'd just stick up and look like a twat.
Is that it there? No.
I can't see with that one. That first picture that you had just then was good. That black and white one with the two of them on it. That's the two different ones.
Right, I'm choking for a piss and I'm going to bounce to the shop, boys. So is Crossman still there?
That'll do.
Where is? Right. You okay to take the floor for a bit, Chris?
Yeah, cool. I should explain to the listeners what's going on.
Just stay away from the Ashkenazi Jews. Leave him alone. I'm joking, mate. You say what you might. Just fucking keep it within the realms and I'll get my channel shut down.
Is it on? Okay. Well, look at the shape of his face.
Right, I'm going to just go for a quick piss and bounce to the shop, mate.
Get yourself some Scott. Go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, look at the picture that you've got on the screen there.
Hold on, I don't think people can hear you, mate. Let me think. It's alright, just give me...
So, yeah, you're seeing two pictures there of what you know as Paul McCartney. All right? Now, the one on the left, the darker hair, that's the original, real Paul McCartney. And the one on the right is a guy called Billy Shears. Okay? That's Billy Shears, or William Shears Campbell. Apparently he was Canadian, and apparently he entered a competition for a lookalike and won. But it was never released. But they reckon the original Paul McCartney died in '66. And there's the difference between the two of them. One of them's got bigger ears and different shaped ears than the other one. The other one, his chin is longer. The other one, his mouth is different. The other one, his nose is different. His eyebrows are different. His eyes are sloped on a different thing. And the new Paul McCartney is 4 inches taller than the old Paul McCartney. So there you go. There's the basics, ladies and gentlemen. But apparently he died in '66 in a crash after having a row with John Lennon. And yeah, that's the big thing. It hit the papers. Some American radio station got on it years ago, and they put it out there. That's why it's still out there today. Even James Corden was interviewing him once, and even he said about the false Paul McCartney and all this, and he made a joke of it. So I mean, come on, you tell me. Personally, I don't think that's the same fucking bloke. Out of those two pictures there, I don't think that's the same bloke. It doesn't look the same. Doesn't look the same to me. I can see differences in the two. Why they didn't just come out and say, "Oh, I've had plastic surgery because I thought I was an ugly cunt." They might have got away with it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't see that as the same bloke. And point of fact is, there's an Italian bloke that does this, and he sent photographs into an official police photo fit computer, and even the computer comes back as saying that's not him. Right? If you want DNA proof of this, Paul McCartney got arrested years ago in Germany for nailing some dead mice up onto the door of his hotel with Pete Best. and he got arrested, and they took his fingerprints in Germany, and he got away with it. Right now, and was it in Germany? Yeah, Germany. Yeah, and then fast forward years later, and Paul McCartney gets arrested in Japan. Okay, and the Japanese authorities couldn't keep him because when they went to Interpol and they got his fingerprints, the only fingerprints they had was of Paul McCartney years ago, and they didn't match up to his then. So that's why they let him go in Japan twice now.
Oh, for his weed? Was that his weed?
That was because of his weed. Now, his fingerprints didn't match up to the German ones that they had from Paul McCartney in '64. He got arrested. So either his fucking fingerprints have changed, or it's not him. You tell me.
I really do believe. I don't know. I've been all over this for years, by the way. I'm not like coming in as a novice.
I know that.
And I've just got a feeling it's more an MI fucking 7 ministry of propaganda mindfuck to play on the people.
I think it's MI5 would involve, mate, because the Beatles were making that much fucking money. They were making that much money.
Let's further it. Let's further it. That's fine. Paul McCartney had to learn to play the guitar right-handed, and he's on a bridge and he admits it.
Yeah, left-handed, because the original Paul was left-handed.
Whichever one, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but to me, I just think it's dog shit. And I mean, I'm not being funny, but that picture that we're looking at, I don't know why I didn't put it on big screen.
Right, I tell you. Here we go. You know,
to be that close to the same. I mean, what are the teeth saying if you zoom in on the teeth?
Well, hang on.
Because the teeth will tell you everything. What are the teeth?
Yeah, the teeth aren't the same. Teeth aren't the same, mate.
Are we sure?
And listen, you were only saying before there's a doppelganger for everybody.
Oh yeah, well they did. They did a what do you call it? They did a lookalike competition for Paul McCartney. Did you know that?
This is the fella. I've just told them all this now, mate.
I didn't listen to that because I was upstairs. But what I'm going to say about these things is, when you've got a bunch of devious 1967 is, what we're going to call them. I call them MI7 because it's a ministry of propaganda. Over in America, you've got the CIA sort of type people that are, into causing mind trauma.
Yeah.
MK Ultra, fracturing people's minds, fracturing people's reality to make them like putties, make them like pussy, so they're easy to control.
I was going to say more to make them followers, isn't it? It's not so much mind putty, it's more to make them as a follower.
Well, it's to
what's
when you think
split with minds like putty, they're no good.
Right, when you think of monarch mind control training, where they would abuse you as a kid, fracture your mind. Have you seen that one where Britney Spears talks like a little kid?
Yeah.
She, that's monarch mind control.
Yeah.
Mind control, brain fracturing, making departmentalized personalities in a body. Well, that's what this stuff does. So they could have kept Paul McCartney the same, invented this to do the damage. And on that level, I believe Paul McCartney would be involved in that, willingly, because that's how they got big in the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
By becoming, you become a great, like I don't know. Well, like Elvis was. Well, I don't know how to explain it, but Elvis was in conversation with presidents, wasn't he? And weird stuff like.
Yeah. Oh, we definitely think that there was more to the Beatles than meets the eye, because these were the first sort of major boy band.
I get high with a little help from my friends. you know, encouraging people to take drugs. In the modern day version, I use this one. Oh, everybody meditate. Everybody get magic mushrooms and DMT.
Right, do you know that song that you've just said there, High with a Little Help from My Friends?
Yeah, well, they were pushing drugs into the scene from the 60s onward.
Let me tell you something, dude. Let me tell you something, right? The name of this guy who took over from Paul McCartney is called Billy Shears. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. The very first words...
You mean Billy? You mean Billy, don't you?
Yeah, Billy Shears, yeah.
Right.
Very
Yeah, Billy
first
Shears. I don't
word-
know. Chris, I just want to point something out now before we continue this conversation.
Go on, mate.
I've been all over this like a fucking bastard for many, many, many years.
Right. Did you know that the first
I'm
word
not a novice.
is the name Billy Shears? It's Ringo Starr telling you Billy Shears. That's the first words to "I with a little help from my friends."
Yeah, and he meets what was that comedian called that did loads of films, and he says, "Oh, Billy said." I know. What I'm saying is, if you've got the weirdos that play with people's minds, and they've been behind the Beatles from the start.
Yeah,
it's a good switch around, isn't it, to fuck everyone's heads up? So that later on in life, they have us having this conversation.
Yeah, but what
I'm saying is they pretended to switch him so they could put doubt in people's minds.
But what would
That's what I'm saying.
What gain would
Pardon?
What gain would they get?
Well,
what would they get from that?
It's called Michael Aquino. He was high up in the US military. He was a colonel in the US military. He was also a founder of the School of Satan, I think it was called, wasn't it?
Oh, there's some
he wrote it's a thesis, but it's more like a book, and it was called Mind Wars.
Yeah.
Right. I'll send you this. And basically, the main thing that you can grab lots of stuff on. It was on about controlling people with frequencies, but basically, what it's on about is how you defeat an enemy, right? Like, you know how you can drop leaflets on your enemy.
Yeah.
It was losing. You're all on the wrong side. Right. But like the secret thing that's in Mind Wars is on about using it against your own people. You see. So what I'm saying, right? There's another colonel in the US military says when people don't know if they're coming or going, right? We've achieved the goal that we want.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's another point to play on this. If you look at Putin's Russia, the people in Russia don't know if left is right and right is left.
Yeah.
So even the Russian government are using these tricks against the Russian people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just to weaken people's minds so they don't know if they're coming or going. Right?
Yeah.
David Icke's a great example.
Yeah.
You know, the information that he's put out.
Yeah.
Even the Russell Brands are doing it.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
If you can put people in a state of confusion, what you do is you annihilate the danger from them. So that's why I've got a funny feeling when Paul McCartney's the original Paul McCartney, right? And he's been used. It's part of one of it's one of the psyops that the Beatles have been used to put out.
To what gain? What would they gain from it? Why did they do it?
Because if people are like sat having this conversation that we're having now, we're not actually attacking or concentrating on the bigger problems and pictures, are we? Exactly. If you can make everyone start running around talking shite about shite, there's no one having a look saying, "Oh, let's look at this Tory government. Let's look at this Labour opposition."
Yeah. Let's look at David Icke. Let's look at Russell Brand.
It's subterfuge. Yeah. So that's my quick answer to the question. I've got longer answers to it, but I don't think we've got time.
No, but again, you've proved another one of my points, mate. So thank you, because you've been an absolute legend tonight. Did you watch my video on the communist thing?
I haven't. No, sorry.
Right.
I didn't know you'd done one. If you do out like that, send it me.
I think I did.
But you don't need to now, because you can just explain what. Come on, explain what you said.
So, communism, right? I said to you, communism's this thing that they made up, right? Now,
it's not made up.
I've since put it to, right? What I said in my video was communism, okay? Now, I looked at the communist countries, right? And I went on Russia and I went on China, right? Then I looked at the communist regime and the communist doctrine and the communist manifesto.
Can I just point can I point something out just before we start though?
Yeah, go for it, mate, go.
Russia isn't communist and neither is China, but carry on.
But we were told they were. The world has been led to believe that they were communists, haven't we?
Right.
Communist China, communist Russia. Right?
Yeah, I suppose there is a bit of truth in what you said there. Yeah.
And they had, like, we know there was Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. We know that it says it didn't come, or it come away from communism and blah blah. But we've always seen it and told that it's a communist country. All right. So this is what I was saying.
You got as far as the USSR.
Yeah.
And with China. Although it is a communist dictatorship, it runs with capitalism in tandem.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
There's plenty of businessmen in China driving Maseratis.
Exactly, and the wages.
And if it was a true communist system, everyone would be driving around in a Lada.
Exactly. So this is what I was looking at, mate. And these communist countries. We've always gone against, haven't we? We've always gone against them.
The West.
Yeah. Why? Why have we gone against these people? Come on. Why have we gone against them?
Look, because if you look at true full communism, it's cruel.
It's cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cruel. Of course it is. But is that not just a hard line, a hard way to create or to govern? Like, get in now, come on, you're being a pain. In. No, you can't even go out. Bloody barking. You savages. We're not animals. Yeah. Isn't that just a way to govern a massive population? If you've got a country that's got a massive population, as a country leader and whatever, you need to keep these people in control, especially when there's like millions of them, and your army and your police force and any sort of regulation bodies that you've got to help keep the people in order adds up to about 2 million, and then there's 150 million civilians in your country. You need to put a hard line and keep them down, and that's what Russia and China do. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's part of any communist doctrine and regime and manifesto and how communism is. I think it's just that's the way they have to be in that country. As for communism, communism was just a book written by Karl Marx.
No,
who was Jewish. Who was Jewish and other writers.
No, I know where you've got misconstrued. I know how you've done it, and it's not your fault. No, the Marxist manifesto was written down in about half an hour, right? And it's not what Marx was on about. You need to go and study the full body of works that Marx has done, which I
can understand that Marx has looked into this in great detail and come out with many different things.
Yeah, the Communist Manifesto was scribbled down quickly.
Yeah, but I do think it was something that's been used as a weapon to the rest of the world. I don't think it actually existed. I don't think whatever anybody said about communism, nobody in a communist country has been treated like that. And the country's not been run like that, because you only have to look at the country and you can see in Russia, even in communist Russia, if you went to university, you were paid a better wage than a trained man. If you got a PhD during this time, you were paid 10 times the amount of money than your average wage for having a PhD in communist Russia. So there was no communist regime going on in Russia. We've just been told this by the books that we've been reading, which were written by people who had orders to fucking downplay Russia and fucking
in
make
communism. In communism, we're going to use Cuba for an example, then, right?
Yeah.
The maximum you can earn more than, let's say, a street labourer.
Yeah.
Right, so say you're a doctor, right? The maximum you can earn over the street labourer is 8 times his wage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Did you
Well,
know
that's not
that?
communism.
No, because I don't think you understand what communism is. That's what I'm saying. You don't even think it exists. There's a misconception that in a communist system, everyone would live in a box the same as the neighbour. It doesn't work like that either.
Yeah, well, that's
communism. If communism could be implemented as, I'm not saying it should or it could, but what communism would be trying to implant, and this is why the Russians wanted to destroy capitalism, was because if you got a worldwide communism, worldwide, all countries on the planet were all working under communism, yeah? Guess what you got?
Go on.
A voting system.
Right, okay. So I live in a terraced house, right? I live in a terraced house, mate, right? And it is fucking tiny. You've got to go out to change your fucking mind. It's that small. Now, as a job, I go out painting and decorating, and I go to some big fucking houses, mate. And one of the things I always notice is how many fucking steps it takes just to get from one room to from the front of the house to the back of the house, right? And mine,
you're a communist then.
No, what I'm saying is I'm living in a fucking box, mate. So is my neighbour next door, and so is that one in that terraced house. So this is a fucking communist country more than fucking Russia is.
Well, look,
we're living in fucking boxes, dude. We're living in boxes. What's a fucking terraced house if it's not a box?
What Karl Marx was trying to theoretically suggest was, if you had a worldwide communist system, right, the workers worldwide, would vote for the leaders worldwide. So you would have one body of leaders, that the world could vote in and out. And he was theoretically suggesting in the long run, it was Yeltsin put Nixon on the chest and said, "Your kids will grow up under communism." And Nixon replied, "Your kids are going to grow up under freedom." But the point of communism, all the big wealthy people, they get pulled down, right? Thus spreading the wealth across the world. And if you get a worldwide communist system, the people, the Workers' Party, the people that work on the communist system, get to vote the leaders in and out. You see?
Yeah, well, that's the only.
That's a better system than what we're in. I'm sorry, and I'm not a communist.
That's the only difference apart from this fucking country, mate. Because we are in a communist country. They tell us how much our fucking graft is worth. Yeah,
but if you're in a communist country, right? Why is it that you could get a big order in next week, hire a couple of lads, get another big order off the back of it, hire another couple of lads, get another big order off it, hire another, and at the end have 20 lads working for you, and you'll be making £1 million a year. That's not a communist system that you're in, mate.
No,
just that's not happened for you.
Listen, the tax system that's in place, mate, the more money you make, the higher your taxes are. Yeah.
Yeah, but you should love paying tax, because the more tax you pay, the more money you've earned.
Yeah, but they're fucking bringing you down again. That's fucking communism, mate. We're living in a communist country.
I've got a mate there, right, and he's basically got about 40 lads work for him. He gets £200,000 tax bills. Right? And he's fucking loaded. He's laughing.
Oh, no, he's loaded.
So, you know what I mean? He's having to pay a lot of tax, but he's also getting to bank a load of legit money in his account off the backs of other people. You wouldn't get to do that in a communist system. Right?
Yeah. Why do you think all these fucking superstars who get paid fucking mega money all fuck off? Because the British system says...
Well, you're on about, like, well, basically all the big to-do ones. Just let's use examples. David Bowie did it, didn't it? Give me some more names so we can let the people know what we're on about.
Mark Bolan did it years ago.
Yeah, Bono did it, didn't he?
Yeah, Bono did it, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what you do if you're intelligent.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We're virtually living in a fucking communist country that's put out. There's only sort of a couple of things that fucking make us different from a fucking communist country. We're told how much our fucking work, or the sweat off our backs is fucking worth. Yeah, we're told you can only earn that amount of money for doing that fucking job. What's that? That's fucking communism.
Well, in communistic, slight communistic societies that have existed, you find that the people that are doing better are the ones that are working in government. Exactly. You find that's a true fact. But there is similarities. I've said similar to along your lines of what you're saying. I've said there's not that much difference between a full working communist system and a full working capitalist system.
Yeah, there's not, mate. There's not.
But even that being said, doesn't mean that communism doesn't exist, or the idea of it, because it
will
does.
never exist, mate, and I'll tell you why.
It's in dictionaries. It's in the minds of men.
It's a fucking figment of people's imagination, and it'll never exist. Do you know why? Man's greed. Man's greed, mate. Whoever's in power, right? Little nobodies that become a little fucking councillor, and they go walking around and they get into fucking parliament, and that's where they start making a fucking coin, mate. And when you're in parliament and the government, right? They're all in it for the fucking coin, mate. So you're never ever going to get a communist system, because the government is all bet.
So you don't believe that there's any politicians in the United Kingdom gone into politics to better the fellow man? Do you really believe that?
No, I don't. Not a fucking...
Oh, don't be daft. Corbyn's a great example. And Corbyn's a communist. Just let me have a piss, bro. 1 minute. You kicks back now.
I'm going to tell him, we had a Labour councillor, mate, okay? A Labour councillor. I voted for him. He got in. 4 months later, he's kicked out for fiddling with some fucking woman in a lift. Come on. Really? The fucking idiot didn't even wait to get his feet under the fucking table. Started fiddling around with some fucking woman, and bang, he's out of there. That's my local MP that I fucking voted for. Don't tell me about fucking... They're all in it for the coin, mate. They're all in it for the fucking coin. What's the point of getting into it? The wages that an MP gets are fuck all. If he's got a degree, he could earn a damn sight more working for a fucking bank or a solicitor's or something like that. A damn sight more. As far as wages go, politicians aren't paid that well. So you've got to ask yourself, why the fuck is he getting into that business? If it's not for the fucking money, yeah, or the money.
It could get set up a hell of a lot better, mate. I don't know.
Oh,
Have you seen the chat?
So,
Have you seen the chat room?
No, I haven't seen it, mate.
Well, that's Iran just launched a drone strike against Israel.
What?
Aye.
That's been happening.
It's on the BBC's, so they've launched it.
Holy
It's
shit.
literally just out a minute ago, and
They're fucking, mate, I said, do you know what? It's Israel is trying to get all these Muslims in on a fucking war, mate. It wants them all in on this war. It wants them all and shit stirring everywhere. It's bombing countries that it shouldn't be fucking bombing now, and making some excuse saying, "Oh, there's a fucking blah 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 there." When
they've launched a wave of drones.
Who do you think's behind Israel?
Us.
The Christians.
Why
the
Europeans?
Western world, man. Was that bud?
Israel's not doing this alone. Doing it with the backing of the West. No one can stand the death cult Islam, and we've all had enough of it, and that's why it's happening. In my opinion.
Here's another thing. It's got backing by England, right? Israel's got backing by England, but Scotland, Wales, and Ireland, mate, are not backing them. Now ask yourself why.
Because they're all socialistic.
No. Think. Because they're Ashkenaz.
Well, everyone hates the English. I know that for a fact.
Ashkenazi run. Landowners in Scotland and in Wales and in Ireland are all Ashkenazi descendants. They're Irish now, they're Welsh now, they're Scottish now, but their ancestry and money comes from settlers from back years ago.
It's the Ashkenazis that you could say like they're 90% the backers of the Zionist movement.
No chance. Total opposite,
Oh,
mate.
guys, man, you've got Sky News and BBC doing the old. Remember when Iraq was getting bombed? They would show you the camera, just the skyline, and you would get flashes going off.
Craig, put that, mate. Put the sound up. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
In Gaza, the war is not ended there. There are still hostages. Hamas have not been defeated, which is the stated goal of Prime Minister Netanyahu, as well as getting the safe release of those hostages. And you have a really dangerous situation erupting daily on the northern border, these exchanges of fire between Hezbollah and the Israeli Defense Forces. Why, if all that's going on, why launch an attack on the consulate? We have a school of thought in the Israeli intelligence community as well, actually. This was not a consulate, it was a base for the Revolutionary Guards. The Revolutionary Guards, whether or not they were behind directly the plans for the October the 7th attack, Iran facilitates, it sponsors and it finances Hamas, an organisation which launched, a savage attack on Israel and Israelis. Therefore, it is part of the war. But I suppose we keep coming back to this point, Barbara, and this is one about miscalculation. The problem here, there's no communications, remember, between Iran and Israel. There are various back channels that go on, but the risk of miscalculation is absolutely huge. But in terms of the Israeli public, you'll hear different things. In terms of the war going on in Gaza, people are broadly, there's broad support, but the way in which it's being conducted, there is huge division. Lots of people here think the government should have concentrated, instead of looking at firing or airstrikes in Damascus, they should have concentrated on getting the release of the hostages out of Gaza.
Can we see any of these drones?
That is fucking mad. We're not seeing anything. Well, no, we're not seeing.
Israel looks beautiful tonight. I don't see any big drones.
Where's the fires? Where's the death? Where's the destruction?
It's like a shimmering diamond, isn't it?
Well, I can spot one thing. I don't know about you, but what the fuck? What are they saying? Declares a state of emergency. Jordan.
Oh, don't listen. Don't listen to him.
Whereabouts is Jordan? Get a map.
It shares a border with Israel.
Jordan's next to Israel.
Is it getting anywhere near? Is it getting?
Jordan.
Well, do you know I was telling you earlier on, right? The Knights Templar is famous for what they done in Jerusalem, and I stay right next to Knight's Wood, and to my right hand side is Jordan Hill. Kid you not? It's all named after the old biblical fucking doodads, man.
Is Jordan any closer to where that Temple Mount is? Because they want to take that Temple Mount down, mate. And when they do, that's when hell's going to break loose.
Jordan shares a border with East Israel. It shares a border with the West Bank.
Right.
Hell broke loose when Iran got involved, mate.
Iran's always been the key to this. Iran's always...
America will now flatten Iran, and it's a massive country.
Do you know why? Do you know the countries that are involved now, boys? Do you know why they're getting involved? Because it's in the Bible.
Yeah, well, we do know. But we don't want to go on. We don't want to. What's the word?
Come on.
I can't think of the word. I tell you what, though, Kit, you should rename this video "The Beginning of World War III."
You can always edit it up, mate, and stick that up, man. You know.
Get it up, definitely. But I'm fucking telling you, it's in the Bible.
It might not even be Iran sending in the drones. It might be Israel droning itself.
Maybe a false flag.
Probably.
They're going to be using these hellfire fucking laser things. You watch. Look to the skies. It's in the Bible, mate. They're following
Iran doesn't never fancied fucking with America, though, did it? So there you go.
Iran's got no fucking problems with America. It's just the people that run Iran have got problems with America. And the people that run Iran...
It's the old war. This is a holy war. This is Islam against Christianity. The Jews are just a little tool to manipulate them into it, bro.
The Jews are behind it all, mate.
Nah, they fuck no. America, nah, I know what you're saying, but nah.
Look now.
Guys, I'm going to knock the live broadcast in the head at 10 bells. I'm going to go and make myself BLT and watch the war unfold. And then tune into some Monk.
A bacon, lettuce and tomato. Are you having mayo with it, though?
Aye, mate, mayo. Mayo and a bit of tomato.
Mayo with BLT, though.
Aye,
I'm telling you, have tomato sauce on top of the tomatoes. It's fucking lovely. Tomato sauce on top of the tomatoes, mate. You can't beat it. Try it. You've got to.
Such a nut for you, aren't you? Bacon, lettuce and tomato has mayonnaise on it.
And I've got cherry tomatoes, which are the beautiful ones, man, because they're lovely and sweet, man. But everybody, anybody that's still watching, get tuned into the poll. Tune in next Saturday as well. If the world's still here, that is.
Big up the peeps.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Crossman.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks to everybody that's watched.
Back on later?
I'm going to go and get myself some lunch and chill out, mate. I'll be honest, I need to go. I want to get in my bed, man. I'm fucking knackered.
That was a decent amount of video. We haven't overdone it, I don't think.
That's 4 hours. That's 4 hours, man.
Yeah, well enough.
Yeah. So that's a good shift, man.
We need to clip them to 3 hours, but Kip did do an hour on his own.
Remember, the Skype details remain, so if you send me a message, I'm sure the boys will still be chatting on the Skypes if anybody wants to batter in offline. And I'm going to end the poll, so 27 votes. What was the poll question? Were the Sydney stabbings a terrorist attack? 44% said yes. And 33% said no.
We're not looking into it. I don't feel. I'd have to have a little look. Like,
I think he was just some guy with some mental fucking issues. That's just
the cops, when they come out with their balls out on the table saying that kind of shit so soon, if they didn't know this guy.
It's whether the Australian media make something of it, but personally, I think he's just some fucking crap that's gone on a magic spree.
Seems that way, bud.
Yeah.
Right, guys, so I'm going to say night-night to everybody and play the outro. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Crossman. Thanks, everybody.
Remember, citizens, always subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. And $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of hell.